Every episode of Gathering of Fools is brought to you by the Ambassadors of Bourbon. Thank you for everything you guys do to get us the best bourbons right here in the Gathering of Fools studio. We are also brought to you by Valley Wine Cellar. Valley Wine Cellar is still open for takeout, so don't forget to get all the best wines and all the great craft beer right there at Valley Wine Cellar. We are also brought to you by Empowered Yoga. Empowered Yoga offers online yoga classes during these troubling times, and you can check those out at vimeo.com/empowered yoga online. That's vimeo.com/empowered yoga online. And today we have Brendon Green on the podcast. It's always fun to have him on. We always have a lot of laughs. This was no different. We tried to stay off of anything too serious. He brought me a book for me to check out, but I haven't had a chance to check it out yet. I can't wait to. And we might have more big news regarding Brendon soon, so I'll keep you posted on that. But for now, here's Brendon. So my basketball squad. So for the I'm a Lakers fan. Okay. But for the longest time, I stopped being a Lakers fan, stopped rooting for them because I wasn't a Kobe fan.
What? Oh wow.
Which is really hard to say.
And I'm done recording today. It was nice. It was nice being here. And I'm not a Lakers fan, but I'm a Kobe fan, and I always was a Kobe fan. I actually seen Kobe at the McDonald's game. It was here when it was a senior. Yeah, it was like him, Steven Jackson, who else? Mike Bibby. It was I got the program at home and stuff, and
that's sick.
Kobe was just incredible and stuff like that. And
quick side note, Mike Bibby.
Yeah,
how did he become such a steroid monster once he got
out of the NBA? I don't know.
He looks crazy.
He looks like he's been hanging out with LeBron Landry.
Man, look up Mike Bibby's steroids. You're gonna see right away. He was a monster.
Yeah, he looks like he's been doing the training, the prayers, and the vitamins. Quote.
Right. The look at that. That any one of those top two right there.
Yeah, look at that one.
Yeah, that dude used to play point guard in the NBA. Now he looks like he punches.
He looks like WWE. An action figure.
Right, that's exactly what he looks like a G.I. Joe.
Now put up LeBron Landry steroids and look at this shit.
But one thing with Kobe, I was never a Kobe hater. I admitted his greatness, everything like that. The thing is, I loved the Lakers team that was
He's
there.
The GOAT.
that broke up.
He's the GOAT.
Michael Jordan is the GOAT. The GOAT.
Michael Jordan is second to Kobe.
He
and I'm gonna tell you why.
Second.
You remember when Kobe dropped that 55 on Mike's neck?
Yeah, I mean, I saw him do a couple things against Mike, but one, yeah, that's crazy. His biceps are like 4 times the size. He looks ridiculous.
He was out there playing with Sean Taylor.
Dude,
who was like the best safety.
Oh yeah, rest in peace. Yeah. But dude, that dude's literally his biceps twice the size of his own head? Is that pretty accurate? Twice the size of his own head?
Look at him before and then.
Yeah, that's fucking absurd. Even that picture right, the one right next to it, you can kind of see a good change. That's ridiculous. I don't get it, and I don't even know why you want to be that big. You ever see that video? It said how to win a bet against a big weightlifter, like a power lifter. So this guy like bumps this power lifter in a locker room, and he's fucking with him and whatnot. And then he takes a sticky note, and they put it in the middle of the non-power lifter's back, and he just reaches up and grabs it, and they do it to the power lifter, and he's like, "Son of a bitch!" And he can't reach it
because of the oh yeah.
But yeah, not a Kobe hater. First of all, MJ definitely the GOAT. Have you not been watching The Last Dance?
Yeah,
man?
I've been watching The Last Dance, but also here's the thing about The Last Dance: it's biased because it's produced by who?
I don't care
Michael
who it's
Jordan.
Produced by. It just shows.
So you're not going to get. Why didn't they mention the fact that Michael Jordan tarnished the? He said that the Pistons weren't no good for the NBA. The city of he badmouthed the city of Detroit.
Yeah.
And then the game before they did that walk off.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so I see what you're saying. So they walked off because of what he said about the city of Detroit beforehand. And I did know about that, but to me, that still doesn't change anything about what happens on the court and the dedication that man had.
It doesn't. And I'm not saying that, but Kobe had the same dedication. And here's the thing. Let's break it down. I'm not saying Michael Jordan is not who Michael Jordan is. He is, to me, I just like Kobe better.
Right.
But I have reasons why. You can pull up all the stats you want to.
I'm not pulling up stats.
But
I got a thing that I read in the last podcast.
Here's the thing. So, with Michael Jordan, when he played, who was in the East when he started winning championships? He had to wait for Boston to retire all their players, Detroit to get old, and then who was in the East when they were going to the?
But they still beat. Didn't they still beat Bird? But Bird was older.
Nah, the Bird was done after that point.
I think
by the time he won a ring.
I thought they. They might.
I mean,
they might not have won
Boston.
the ring.
Yeah, Boston wasn't really all that good at that point. You know what I mean? But that's just proving my point. You know what I mean? Like they're playing against like the Pacers and the Knicks.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But Bird and Magic both say that Jordan's the best.
I don't care what Bird and Magic say.
You don't care what nobody says.
You wouldn't smoke a blunt with Magic Johnson, now would you?
No, I would. He obviously got the cure.
I ain't testing that. I'd be like, you go ahead. Hey, here, I'll roll one up for you, Mad.
This was just for you.
Yep, we'll smoke our own blunt.
So here, this is this thing I saw the other day, and I thought it was perfect. It says, if you want rings, look at Bill Russell. If you want stats, look at LeBron. If you want MVPs, look at Kareem. If you want records, look at Wilt. If you want dominance, look at Shaq. If you want dunks, look at Vince. If you want intensity, look at Kobe. If you want all of that, look at MJ. And tell me it ain't real.
Again, when they won their championships, look at the teams they had to go through. Look at the teams they had to go through. They had to go through Sacramento, who should have beat them. That one.
I don't know. I mean, you gotta, dude. Those Lakers teams were great. You can't act like they weren't great.
I'm just saying the East wasn't stacked when Mike was winning his championships.
Yeah,
Kobe played against LeBron, Mike, Bird, Magic. I mean, not Magic, rather a Bird, but
yeah, but he didn't win. He didn't win against LeBron. I don't think.
Who?
Kobe.
He played against them though.
Yeah.
In his prime. He played against all these players in their prime.
He played against him in his prime, but he didn't win against him. And Kobe, like that, first he had that team with like Shaquille O'Neal or Robert Horry, who's the most clutch shooter in maybe playoff history. He had great teams behind him.
Who didn't start?
Who didn't start?
Robert Horry.
Oh, no, never started for.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think he ever started for any team.
He started for Houston.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the years that they won. Go down. Let me see this roster.
I'm a Sixer
Kobe,
fan.
Horry. I don't know if they won this year, but that's funny. Mitch Richmond was on that team. Who remembers that?
Shoot.
Oh, man. I think
that was that dude in his prime.
Oh, in his prime when he played for the Kings?
And when he played for the Warriors. They had Run TMC. Was him, Chris Mullin, and Tim Hardaway.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I can't remember what years they won the championships, to be honest.
Who, the
is that
Lakers?
what it is there? Okay,
Yeah.
I see. All right, so click on that second one against... Man, yeah, that was...
Oh, God.
Listen, look at who they beat in the championships.
Yeah, oh, no, I'm not saying nothing. They beat them... Listen.
They beat the Nets.
Hold on.
They beat the Sixers.
Hold on. But other than the Sixers, that game one, I lost big money because I bet everybody after we won game one
Yeah.
in L.A. thinking, I was like, oh, it's over with now. We're about to kill them.
You were crazy.
Yeah,
that team should have been called just Allen Iverson.
Oh, yeah.
Should have been Allen Iverson versus the Lakers.
But this is how dominant that team was. They only lost one game in the playoffs, and that was it.
they only had to play one player, Allen Iverson.
No, I'm talking about in that whole playoffs. They had to go through Portland. They had to go through
Portland, Sacramento.
The Bulls never swept
Spurs.
everybody.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
They
Scroll
didn't.
Down. I don't remember. Go down. I want to see their actual team for this, where they've played. So Derek Fisher, obviously good. Greg Foster was kind of a bum. Rick Fox was good. Ron Harper. Tyronn Lue was decent. He was great
Okay, there you go.
basketball
You're starting to get into the Allen Iverson type teammates.
Yeah. Horace Grant, Ron Harper, obviously. I mean, those guys both have championship experience with Jordan. Isaiah Ryder, Brian Shaw. They weren't amazing.
For his
Shaquille
first
O'Neal,
4 years in the league, Isaiah Ryder was nice.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then he became pretty much just a junker and a little baby shooter. Jump shot. But Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal alone is ridiculous. Then you add in Horace Grant, Rick Fox. That's a solid core. Robert Horry, Ron Harper. I mean, Ron Harper was one of the best defensive point guards in the game.
Yeah, but also you're looking at these dudes. These are all bench players everywhere.
Not on the Sixers.
It depends.
Look at that Sixers
You got to
team.
figure. Okay, so the Sixers team that year versus that team that year, it ain't like they were matchup. They had Shaq and Kobe. We just had Iverson. Mutombo was old.
Where's this? Here, Allen Iverson. Yeah, but Tubbo was super old.
We had Aaron McKee, who was defensive. He was sixth man of the year.
Sixth man of the year. He was still bootsy though.
Oh yeah, in the playoffs, he didn't have nothing. And what killed us
that team is so bad.
George Lynch got hurt. That was our defensive stopper. He would have been able to at least neutralize Kobe a little bit at that time because Kobe was young at that time.
He was your best option out of that team for sure.
Look,
but that team is terrible. That team is awful.
Hey, you can't say that one player can't get a team to the finals.
Yeah, right, because Allen Iverson for sure did it.
We had to go 7 games with Toronto. We had to go 7 games with No, we went 6 games with who did we play before that? Oh man,
I don't know. What I do know is it's a crime that Allen Iverson never got a team built around him when he was in his prime. A crime.
Oh yeah,
that dude would have won multiple championships. He was maybe the hardest working dude in basketball.
He's the same size as me.
Yeah, and was just dominant. Go to the next one for the Lakers, the next championship year.
So when I was going to school in L.A., the Lakers practiced at my school.
You go to 2000, actually. That's what I wanted to see.
So that's when it was like, Magic was still there.
Right.
Worthy was still there.
Yeah, that's sick.
Vlade Divac had just got there.
See, the team that I like from the Lakers, the reason I got mad that Kobe came in is I like the team with Nick the Quick, Eldon Campbell, Vlade Divac,
Eddie Jones,
Cedric Ceballos. That team was like gritty. You know what I mean? They were fighting. And
yeah, but if you listen to Kobe, and Kobe came in on that team.
Right.
Because other than Eddie Jones winning that trade. But Van Exel, he said Van Exel was the one who made him tough initially.
Yeah, I get that. But I loved Eddie Jones, too. I was such a big fan.
I like Eddie Jones, but Eddie Jones played with McKee at Temple in college. Yeah. They were nice.
Right, but if you go back and watch some of Eddie Jones' highlights, you'd be surprised. Like, man, that dude he could fly, too.
Oh, yeah, he used to be, when he was on the Heat, too, he was all right. I'm a basketball fan, so.
It just seemed like he never got back to that role. Yeah, go ahead and click on that. I want to see who their team was, and I want to see who Indiana's team was. So here we had Kobe, Derek Fisher, Rick Fox, Ron Harper, AC Green.
He was old at that time.
He was old, but still a good defensive body down there, a good rebounder. Robert Horry, Glenn Rice. I don't care.
You used to go women hunting with AC Green, didn't you?
Yeah, we had the same flat top.
He was like a virgin the whole time he was in the league.
Was he?
Yeah,
I didn't know
That's why I said that.
That's fucking wild.
Hey, yo, matter of fact, before I forget, I got off on the exit of Lovers Lane. Mm-hmm. That's the name of a town down here.
It's the name of just a street.
Oh, okay. I thought it was going to be it. Well, either or, you know what I mean? Like, there's always somebody that claims where they're from.
Yeah.
You can't be tough. Like, yeah, motherfucker, this is Lover's Lane.
Yeah. What's crazy to me is like it doesn't make any sense either, the name of it, because you think Lover's Lane like it's like maybe the makeout spot or something like that.
Right.
It's literally the thinnest road in the whole area. There ain't no pull offs. There ain't nothing. I don't. There's now a roundabout on it. Little ass Steubenville got a roundabout for whatever reason. Wow. I feel like that was a waste of money. But so they had kind of the same team. Oh, they had John Sally too, another good rebounder.
At that time,
they were old. What they did was they put.
Look how far down he's on the bench.
They put solid
11th man. He even get in.
They put solid old people together around those two. But then you had on the Pacers, Reggie Miller, Jalen Rose, Rick Smits, which Rick Smits was a decent center. He was 7'6" and could hit a little jumper. Dale Davis, Mark Jackson, maybe the best passing point guard.
Smartest point guard.
Yeah, he was incredible. Sam Perkins was on that team?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Easy.
Travis Best was a good backup point guard for them because Jalen Rose, obviously. Man, Jalen Rose probably went to shooting guard for this team because Mark Jackson started.
He was a 3. They used to run him on a 3 sometimes.
Okay. And then Chris Mullen down there. So you had a nice shooter coming off the bench. Yeah, but he was old as hell.
Yeah.
Without
Look how many minutes he had.
Where was that at?
Minutes played 12.
Yeah, he didn't play at all.
He might have been in the suit assistant coaching, and they just had a uniform under him.
Yeah. So that's definitely a way better team than the Sixers team. And then the last one they won was against the Nets. Let's see what that Nets team was looking like.
All right, well then, who did the Bulls beat?
We'll go to that. Yeah, we'll look at that. All right, so Kenyon Martin was pretty good. Jason Kidd. Kerry Kittles wasn't bad. Keith Van Horn was pretty decent. Richard Jefferson, good defensive player, hustler. Donnie Marshall was okay. Yeah, that team's nothing too great, but I mean those
your boy Scalabrini.
Scalabrini. But those first 4, that's a pretty solid fucking team. It's pretty solid. Jason Kidd, super smart point guard. Okay, let's go to the Bulls. Let's get this argument in here. Go to their first 3. All right, so 1991, they beat the Lakers.
Who was like in the retirement home at that point.
Oh, here we go.
Hey, word. Didn't the Lakers only win 1 game in that series?
That might be true. So they had on their team, let's go back up the Bulls. There we go. Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant, great. Paxson, good shooter. He was that time's Steve Kerr.
Hodges, great shooter.
Yeah, B.J. Armstrong was a pretty good shooter.
Yeah.
They never had great big men besides Horace Grant and Dennis Rodman later. All right, let's go down and see who this Lakers team was. Magic Johnson, Vladdy Divac, Sam Perkins, James Worthy, young A.C. Green, Eldon Campbell they still had. Man, they had all the fucking big men.
A.C. Green wasn't young then.
I mean, he was a lot younger. It's 1991, man.
27.
That's young for basketball, bro. Come on.
Look at everybody else on the Bulls'
40.
ages.
You look like he's 40. Well, yeah, they were a young team. If you go ahead, scroll up. Let's see the ages. They were a young team for
27,
sure.
25, 25, 30, 33, 33.
He was the same age as Michael Jordan. So, he just wasn't Michael Jordan. All right, so that Lakers team was pretty fucking good. They weren't bad at all.
They only won 1 game in that, so that they were that good, huh? They were old. Look, 4-1. Look, 4-1.
See, you say it that way. I say that speaks to the greatness of Michael Jordan and the Bulls.
Ow.
Because that's why they beat them like that. They made it to the championship.
I didn't say they weren't a good team, but they beat an old Lakers team. That's all.
Man, here we go with
this. They
wouldn't
have beat the Showtime Lakers with Kareem.
Well, Kareem would have been a different story. They didn't have any big man to match up with him for sure. They would have had Horace Grant trying to guard him. The Portland Trailblazers team, I'm pretty sure, was pretty good.
That was a good team. I'll give you that. The Portland team was good.
Yeah, if we go down here. So the Bulls, pretty much the same. No big name getting added. This team, Clyde Drexler, Terry Porter, Jerome Kersey, I forget about him, Clifford Robinson, Danny Ainge, who was definitely old.
Duckworth, Buck Williams.
Yeah.
They were nice.
Yeah, that was a nice little team. All right, next one. So far, I'm saying they had 2 tougher challenges.
No. You're going to say that. You got to look at the guy to be unbiased.
I am being unbiased. That Sixers team had Allen Iverson, which I granted is a lot.
You act like that was the only championship they won.
All right, so again, their team Bulls are pretty much the same. Go down. Charles Barkley, Kevin Johnson, Dan Marley, Danny Ainge.
Tom Chambers.
Yeah, Tom Chambers wasn't bad. Dumas was okay. That team wasn't great. No. KJ, Dan Marley, and Barkley were a good trio.
Barkley tried. He balled.
Seattle Supersonics. I bet that team was terrible. Click on that.
That was Gary Payton and Kemp.
Yeah, Gary. But Kemp was great, but I mean, he was a dunker and a rebounder.
Yeah.
You know, he wasn't doing much else than that. Obviously, so now the Bulls
They
have
got Kukoc.
Yeah, Jordan, Pippen,
Rodman.
Kukoc, Rodman, Harper, Kerr. Those are the John Sally was on that team, older. Sean Kemp. This team was better than I remembered, actually. So
Detlef, Hersey Hawkins, Perkins,
yeah,
Wingate, Nate McMillan.
That was actually a pretty decent team. Eric Snow when he was brand new.
Eric Snow sucked when he was with us. He was trash.
Yeah, he was your starting point guard.
Yeah, I know, right?
All right, and then the Utah Jazz. The Utah Jazz seems to be pretty much the same for 2 years, and people hate on this team, and it was a good team.
It was
the
a good
Utah
team.
Jazz. So Bulls team pretty much the same, and then Karl Malone, John Stockton, Jeff Hornacek, Byron Russell. Man, I forgot about Howard Isley. He was pretty good. He had the
You got a Greg Ostertag jersey hanging up in your room.
Again, I like that flat top.
He's got that. What's the sergeant on Full Metal Jacket? He got that haircut.
Yeah, he sure did. Yeah, for sure. Greg Ostertag jersey. You ignorant. You got a big country jersey hanging in your closet.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But yeah, that was a solid team. That team's going to be the same the
You got a
following
Michael
year, too.
Sam hanging up.
Michael Sam, that ain't right. I'm a Rams fan, too.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I see you on that bullshit already.
It's hanging up over there with his next to his Cardinals jersey.
But I don't think, and then so the Lakers, then they won 2 more up there against Orlando Magic and the Celtics. God, him beating that Celtics team. Who was on that Magic team? That Celtics team was definitely
That Magic
good.
team was Dwight Howard and like Jameer Nelson ain't at nobody.
Rashard Lewis, he was playing pretty good at that time.
Turkaloo.
Dwight Howard. Rayford Alston, isn't that dude from the
Skip to
And1
my
tapes?
move.
Yeah.
He didn't play good in the NBA until he got to the Rockets. So he got to the Rockets, he was decent.
He wasn't even that great there.
Oh, no, he was up for 6th man of the year.
JJ Redick was in there. It didn't look like he played a
He was
ton.
a rookie that year.
Yeah, that was a little rough. And then, but who did the Lakers have?
They had like Andrew Bynum. Was that Gasol?
Yeah, they had Kobe Bryant, Andrew Bynum, Derek Fisher, Paul Gasol. Chris Mim was a good backup center. Lamar Odom. Lamar Odom didn't get enough recognition there.
No, your boy was on that team. Adam Morrison.
Adam Morrison. I don't even know who that is.
He used to play for Gonzaga.
Oh, man, I don't remember him at all. All right, then let's go to the team that this one is crazy.
What, the Celtics? That was and then the Celtics beat them in the finals.
Yeah, this one this one is crazy because the Celtics.
That's like the big 3.
Yeah, that was like the first real big 3 in my opinion.
Lakers had the big 4.
Yeah. So they now at this time they now had Kobe Bryant, Paul Gasol, Metta World Peace, Derek Fisher, Lamar Odom, Andrew Bynum. So a lot of the same people, and then you add in Metta World Peace, which is a great defensive player, decent at offense. But man, the Celtics: Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, Rajon Rondo,
Rasheed Wallace, who is probably the biggest matchup problem in NBA history if you really look at it, man. He's 6'10", could shoot a 3.
Yeah, for sure.
Could play defense.
Yeah, he was. I think he was a mildly underrated player too. Honestly, I thought because him and Jerry Stackhouse came from the same year, same college, and I thought Stackhouse was going to be the bigger star, and I was wrong.
Well, Stackhouse had a bad temper. He was beating up people. He was. He was going to beat up Iverson if he didn't beat him up.
Yeah.
That's why he got traded from Philly.
I would say that was definitely Kobe's toughest challenge there. That Celtics team was no joke.
Yeah, look, Kobe averaged something like 30-something in that series.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I would say the more I look into it, I think Kobe is the clear-cut number 2 over LeBron. But I think Jordan's 1. He's just making faces.
You're going by that extra ring. That's all.
Well, not just the extra ring. I do think he faced the good competition. I think even before he started winning the championships,
Who
Jordan
was
had
guarding
the stats.
him?
I don't know who was guarding him.
Nobody. And he's like I said.
Nobody could guard him.
there wasn't nobody out there playing against Mark Elo and them type of people. You know what I mean?
And Mark Elo.
Yeah, that's
the other thing. They said that in the one thing. They said that they made a mistake because Ron Harper should have been guarding him.
Yeah.
But the other thing I look at is if Jordan hadn't have taken, because what they have 2 years in between their championships. Scroll down a little bit there. Yeah, 2 years. There's a really good chance that if Jordan doesn't take 2 years off, they go 8-0.
He had to because he was going to get suspended.
I heard something about that. I don't know.
Yeah, you can look that up.
Well, it's not. I've looked it up. It's not definitive, but it didn't look good. It didn't look good, but it was not definitive.
They had those court depositions with him in there with them dude. He had that check for like $80,000 from him.
Yeah, it was a gambling thing.
Yeah. And Stern was like, just step away.
Yeah. But regardless of why he had to go away or why he went away, if he doesn't take those 2 years or if he isn't forced to take those 2 years, there's a good chance they go 8-0.
And if was
8-0.
And if was a spliff, we'd all be high, right? So
but you can't deny that though. I mean, then again, maybe we could. Look at that Houston Rockets team. Because that Houston Rockets team, I think, is pretty good. Poor Patrick Ewing in the Knicks.
No, the Bulls would have had. They would have had probably 8.
They probably would have had all 8, right?
I'm biased. I know how to. You know what I mean? So
yeah, because there's a good chance they would have had all 8. This team had Hakeem Olajuwon, who is in the top 2 centers of all time, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
Vernon Maxwell, who's a good shooting guard
and a defense.
Yeah, Robert Horry, Sam Cassell, Otis Thorpe, Kenny Smith, Mario Eli was decent
if
too.
You let Kenny Smith tell it, he was like a all-pro NBA player.
Yeah, like he didn't just have a good 3-point shot.
Right.
Yeah. All right, what about the next year? Because that team's pretty good, man. They have Otis Thorpe, I think, is one of the most underrated defensive players.
You can tell he's named after his grandfather.
Right.
Otis Thorpe.
All right,
definitely a black guy.
Tim Bro, huh? That's a terrible name.
Sounds like a Tim Bro. Sounds like a black dude.
Sam Cassell, Clyde Drexler they added, Mario Eli, Carl Herrera wasn't bad either, Robert Horry, Vernon Maxwell, Hakeem Olajuwon, Kenny Smith, Otis Thorpe. So that was a pretty good team, but I still think I think that they probably would have had that. They would have had a hard time with Hakeem Olajuwon, though.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been really the only problem. They would have had them pretty much locked down defensively otherwise. But, yeah, so you can say there's a good chance that they probably would have went 8-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, on championship.
I'm not saying that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah. Jordan. Oh, man. So, but what do you think of that Last Chance documentary, though?
I like it. I mean, who's not watching it? You know what I mean?
Watching it, man.
My mom's watching it.
Right. Well,
my mom's a big sports fan, but she's a Lakers fan. So.
Well, that's the thing. If you're a sports,
see, I lived in L.A. and it's different. It's like I can understand why people hate Steelers fans in Pittsburgh because, and I don't hate Lakers fans, but it is just like it's a different world out there for them with their Lakers and their Dodgers too.
Yeah.
Like I went to a Dodgers game and they were playing the Pirates.
Right.
And my uncle got me tickets. It was like the first weekend I was out there. And, I'm used to, you go to any game and they have like, there's an away team presence, you know what I mean? Not at the Dodger Stadium.
No.
And I might have been the only, I didn't see no one with a Pirate stuff on but me. And I walked around.
Did you feel like you had to tuck your flag?
No, I never do that. You know what I mean? I never do that. You got to figure, man. I was down. My sister-in-laws, they live in Federal Hill down there. It's literally it's in Baltimore. You can look off of their patio and see MIT Stadium.
Okay,
M&T Stadium. So we went to this bar down there. It was called like Mother's or something like that. So I was like, man, me, I'm stupid. So I was like, fuck it, I'm going to wear my Bettis jersey down there, right? So I wore my Bettis jersey down there. Ain't nobody bother me at all.
Well, honestly, that might have been your best bet for a Steeler player because he did play for the LA Rams, too. So
they don't give a shit about that. He played for the LA Rams, didn't he?
The LA
when
Rams.
They went to St. Louis, they got rid of him, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So you can't claim him.
No, I don't claim him. But I like the bus though.
But the dude, like, I'm walking out of the bar, right, and this black dude comes up to me and taps me on the shoulder, and he was like, "You from Pittsburgh?" And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Man, I gotta salute you, man." He's like, "I'm from Pittsburgh too, but I do not wear my stuff out here." And I was like, "Man, I don't give a fuck."
Yeah. That's great.
I wear my shit everywhere.
Yeah, you can't be scared of that.
Because 9 times out of 10, most of the time, everywhere I go, they're like Steelers, and there's fans. You meet fans,
especially Steelers,
everywhere. Yeah, I got one of my coolest friends, man. I met on a cruise probably over 10 years ago, and I had on my Steeler jersey, and I was walking into this comedy show on this cruise, and this dude was like, Steelers, and I was like, what's up? You from Pittsburgh? He's like, nah, I'm from San Diego. I'm just a diehard Steelers fan. Me and this dude are cool to this day.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, like anytime I go to L.A., I link up with him and stuff like that. Like when I was out there staying, me and him met up down at this bar down there across from what is the Angel Stadium? It's called like Golden River Brewery.
Oh, okay.
Ever out there?
Yeah.
Yo. Man, oh my God, I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's insane with Steelers fans. There's a large amount of Steelers fans almost, it seems like, in every city.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy. What the hell was I going to say? We were talking about L.A. Dodgers. I don't know. But my original baseball team was, because I was born in Cali.
Okay.
Was the Oakland A's during those Bash Brothers days.
Okay.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I was actually in Cali for that massive earthquake.
The earthquake?
During the World Series.
Okay.
Yeah. I was sitting in front of a giant glass window doing homework. And my parents' house at the time was like a horseshoe shape.
Okay.
Like a U shape. And in the middle of the U was like the backyard, and it was fenced off, and they were like out there doing work, and the big window was right at the head of the U.
What year was that?
1989.
I was out there too, but I was in L.A. because that was the year the freeway collapsed, right?
The Golden Gate, I think it was the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah.
Look that up, make sure it was the Golden Gate Bridge.
I was in L.A. at that time.
Yeah, it was during the it was crazy because it was like everything California. It was during the San Francisco Giants, Oakland A's World Series.
Okay.
Yeah. 87.
No, 87.
Yeah,
Okay,
87.
I wasn't out there yet then.
Yeah, I was wrong. 300 stuck on the human gridlock with a chance. Was it the Golden Bridge in Massey? Yeah. Was the Golden? Wait, I think that's something else. Look up World Series earthquake. Yeah,
it's 89. Okay, yeah, I was out there then.
Yeah.
Just in Southern Cal.
So that was something else for that Golden Gate Bridge in 1987. Apparently they didn't build that bridge very well.
Right.
So look up 1989 Golden Gate Bridge collapse or something like that. See if it's on there. But yeah, those my original teams. Did I ever tell you how I became a Rams fan and a Cardinals fan? So is that it?
Yeah, that might be.
Okay.
Yeah, that is.
19. Yeah, Golden Gate. Did it say that it did collapse? One bridge did. I can't remember if it was Golden Gate.
It might have been the Bay Bridge either, or they're right by each other.
Cypress Freeway. Oh well, either way,
Oakland.
If you find it, that's cool. But I'm gonna go on to this. So when I lived in California for the first 10 years or whatever of my life, I was a Oakland A's fan and I was a San Francisco 49ers fan.
Okay.
So then when I moved to St. Louis didn't have a football team at the time. They were still the LA Rams.
Right.
But the closest football team was the Kansas City Chiefs, where Joe Montana went, who was my favorite football player. Okay. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to start rooting for the Chiefs now since they got my favorite football player. And the Cardinals got Tony La Russa, the A's coach, and Mark McGwire, who was my favorite baseball player. So I became a Cardinals fan. Okay. And then when Joe Montana retired is when we got the Rams. And I was like, you know what? I'll just start claiming the Rams. Okay. And then I went through some hard times. Then I went through some amazing times.
When I was young, the Cardinals were the St. Louis team.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That was you talking about the St.
football?
Oh, the football team?
Yeah.
No shit. When you were, man, how old are you?
Shoot, I'll be 47 this year, man.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I keep telling people I'm 40.
They were the St. Louis Cardinals football team.
Yeah, I remember that was a thing at one point.
Yeah, and then they moved to Arizona, and then they didn't have a team there for a while.
Yeah,
and then the Rams moved
time.
up there, and then they had like the greatest show on turf for like 2-3 years, and then that was it.
That team was insane, though. You had your quarterback Torrey Holt,
Marshall Falk,
Isaac Bruce,
Kurt Warner,
and Kurt Warner came from bagging groceries.
Yeah,
like he wasn't even supposed to play. Trent Green got hurt. I think it was either the preseason or the first 2 games of the regular season.
Oh, they wouldn't have done that with Trent Green.
No. Kurt Warner ended up being just unbelievably
accurate,
good.
Man.
Yeah, he was accurate and he was willing to stay in the pocket and take a hit.
Oh yeah,
that was the biggest thing. They definitely wouldn't have done that with Trent Green. Kurt Warner ended up being one of the greatest. You know what I mean? For a short period of time, though.
Oh yeah, he was real good.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, they almost beat us on the Super Bowl.
Man, with that Cardinals team, that was crazy. Because I do claim the Steelers as my number 2.
Okay,
but at the time, because it was Kurt Warner, because Kurt Warner is probably now my favorite player of all time, and just because he's also a great person, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I was kind of rooting for Kurt Warner in that, because I also felt like it would have solidified his place in the Hall of Fame, which I think he's going to end up getting anyway.
He should get in.
Yeah,
you
I don't think he's already in, is he?
No, I
think
don't
he might
think
have been
so.
nominated.
I don't think he's in yet.
Kurt Warner.
Well, I got this book I want you to see.
Uh-oh.
It's going to change the subject of what we're talking about.
Well, it's not too often we get caught on sports for too long anyway. You don't see it on there? What is this? Book of Rap Lists? What is this?
Ego Trip's Book of Rap List.
So, hold on. Let me get this water out of here so I don't mess with this book. Actually, let me see the back real quick. No, it doesn't give me a synopsis.
So now, since we're going on the subject of hip-hop, real quick while you're looking.
Yeah.
Give me your top 5 Wu-Tang albums, and that includes all the solo ones, too.
Okay.
Since we's always doing top 5s.
Yeah, I don't know why the name it's Wu-Tang Forever. It's probably my number 1 because I think Triumph is one of my favorite Wu-Tang songs of all time.
Okay.
Then probably Iron Man.
Okay.
Then probably Liquid Swords.
Okay.
I can't remember which Method Man album I loved. He had so many. He was also with a different producer, though, so does that even really count? Because he was with Def Jam.
No, it counts because,
Yeah.
all them other ones ain't on, weren't on Loud,
Yeah.
who signed Wu-Tang initially.
Yeah.
Only one was on Loud was Ray.
I can't remember which one I like from Method Man. I'm gonna say Takao for now because I'm having a hard time picking which Method Man. So what am I at, 4?
That's 5.
No, that's not 5.
We said Wu-Tang Forever.
Forever.
You said Iron Man. You said Liquid Swords.
Yeah.
You said
Then the Method Man.
Okay.
And then honestly, maybe that new Ghostface.
Okay. Mine's is way different.
You probably got
number 1.
the Chefs on
is
there.
Cuban Links.
Yeah.
That's by far number 1.
I actually recently was going to go back and listen to that one.
Number 2 is Iron Man.
Yeah.
Number 3 is Wu-Tang Forever, and not because of Triumph, even though I love Triumph. Triumph's a dope song, but probably the best song on there is Impossible.
Yeah, that's a good one too. I love the songs where there's no hook. Where they're just rapping.
Yeah. And then, so what is that, 3?
Yeah.
Number 4 is the Old Dirty Bastards album.
Also always had Ghost Riders, but he was good.
And then 5 is Liquid Swords.
Yeah. Jizz's wordplay is insane. He's good.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I told you I almost was going to have Ninth Prince on.
Yeah. What happened?
Listen, man, I had a phone conversation with him.
Okay.
And it was weird. So I decided, nah. No, I kind of ghosted him a little bit. Well, he was supposed to call me on Sunday. He didn't.
Okay.
First, we talked on, I think it was Thursday or Friday.
Okay.
And we talked. And so we're talking a little bit, and then he was like, all right, how much you going to pay me? I'm like, I'm not going to pay you. and then he said, "Oh," I said, "I don't pay people to come on." And then he was like, "Oh, but you got the #1 Shaolin and all this." I'm like, "Hey, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't pay people to come on this. Like, I'm not even getting paid to do this."
Right.
And then he was like, okay, no, that's cool. Let's do it. And then he started asking for like other random things. I'm like, look, I'm not out here like that, bro.
Right.
Like, I'll get you what you want to drink.
Right.
And that's it.
Right.
And I said, so just think about it. And if you want to do it, great. If not, it's still all love. You know what I mean? But the phone conversation was just so weird. I was like,
Yeah, you ain't Shaolin. You talking about Shaolin. You get the RZA Method Man.
Right.
And we might be able to talk about paying you something.
right.
Paying them. You know what I mean?
They wouldn't even want the money I have to offer, especially now. I'm working at Kroger's, lucky to make $300
But you also got to look at some of them. Like, they look at sometimes a lot of them know how powerful their endorsement is, and sometimes they like to just help people. You know what I mean? Like, when I met Redman, like I told you, you know what I mean? Like, Redman was cool as shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
well, and the bad part is the dude could have been just fucking around, but it was kind of hard to tell on the phone.
right.
And I just didn't like the vibe.
Right.
So then so since I didn't like the vibe, I was afraid that vibe would carry into the actual conversation.
Right.
And it just wouldn't have been good air.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I was just like, I'm not going to do this. But he made it an awkward situation, man. I'll tell you more about it later.
All right, for sure.
So this book of lists is just like, so like this one is producers and the groups they were in before they made their name for themselves. So it's just like a bunch of facts.
Right.
Okay. So is there anything specific you wanted to point out in this?
No, there's a whole bunch of stuff. They got a little Tupac section in there since you're a Tupac.
Oh, yeah?
Where they talk about, like, reasons why he could be alive.
Oh, God.
It's crazy.
Don't you think if he was alive, he'd be back by now, though?
But you can't, there's no statute of limitations on faking your death because you'll go to jail for that shit no matter when they catch you. So
I didn't even think about that. Really?
Yeah.
Seems like he'd just be excited. Like,
yeah.
oh, shit, you alive?
You ain't see that picture of him, his autopsy photo?
I'm not sure. See if you can find that, Jacob.
He's dead.
That's what I'm saying. He got to be dead. Like, there ain't no way around it. That's like when people kept saying, like, we saw him here. Like, it might have just been that dude who, played Tupac.
I think what it is, black people don't have celebrity to hold on to like that. Like, white people have Elvis and all the ones they think that are living. So they just started doing that when it came to, they had half of it if you go back up.
What's crazy is they don't like that looks like an artist rendition up there.
That's what the picture is. Keep going.
Keep going. That right there. That TMZ. Oh, right there. Yeah. That don't look real. That's not even Tupac right there in the picture.
No, dang.
But I bet you it's something like that. I'll tell you one of the craziest stories about him is what he said to the cop when the cop was like trying to help him.
Oh,
after he got
yeah.
out of the car.
Oh, yeah.
He's just like, fuck you. He was something else. So what, you going to let me borrow this so I can check it out?
Yeah, but you definitely got to take care of that.
Oh, I will. I'll take care of this for sure. You saw me. I was wiping
so
this water
hard to find because I lost it the first time and I had to rebuy it.
And it was that hard to find, huh?
Yeah. Ego Trip ain't in business anymore, so
oh no shit.
They got another good book. It's called The Big Book of Racism. It's funny.
It's funny.
Yeah, it's real funny. It's funny because each chapter is on different races and stuff. I should have bought it. I'll bring it next time.
All right. Hey Jacob, any chance I get you to grab me the ice cubes out of that little freezer in that fridge? Sorry, brother. I did want to talk to you so how you handling this coronavirus pandemic?
I was upset because they told me my Jason hockey mask is an equivalent for me to go in and out of stores with. So. Is there Corona in there, my man?
Yeah, I think there is actually.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Jake.
Oh, look at it. Hammer with a hammer. This thing. It's like you got to be Thor to lift it up.
Yeah. You just got to be pure of heart. So do you get into any of the conspiracies, or do you just think, people are handling it like the government and everything is handling it as best they know how?
A little bit of both. No, I ain't dealing with. I'm a conspiracy theorist at heart anyway, so I just think that they need to. Their best defense and advice is stay at home and social distance.
Yeah.
That's not good advice.
Yeah. I think it was appropriate for the start because it's like, hold on, we don't really know what this is. Let's take a second.
Right.
Like, everybody just chill the fuck out while we try to see what the fuck is going on.
But they knew what it was before. They just didn't, pay too much attention to it when they first heard about it.
Right. Well, and even when they first heard about it, they still didn't, even right now, they still don't have a full grasp of exactly what it is because it's too new. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, they know basically what the symptoms are. They know how you can catch it. But, like, right now, I just read an article, and it was about some patients that have had it and got through it are now seeing, like, it come back to them again.
Okay.
And now, I didn't go fully into the article. I saw just a little bit before you got here, so I didn't have time to read it. But that would change things, too, because they're thinking if you've had it, then you got the antibodies and you're good.
Right.
If it's coming back to them, that means it's not like that.
Right.
Who knows if that's true? I don't want to create any kind of fear because I didn't read enough into it.
Right.
And that could be isolated cases, so anecdotal evidence. You know what I mean?
Right.
But so they still don't know, like, if you get it again, if the antibodies really help you and you're good. You know what I mean? They have no idea how to control it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So there's still just a lot of questions up in the air. So I understood the initial, hey, let's chill.
Right.
But at some point, you got to get the economy going again.
Right, and that's the main thing. Like, people are, they got to be careful what they're taking in on the news because they're just, whatever the news says, you go out and about and you hear people, people need to just stay in the house and this, that, and the other. Some people can't stay in the house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, some people have their bills that they have, and a lot of these companies aren't giving breaks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
If people had the option to work from home, I'm sure they would. But everybody doesn't have that. I'm a bartender and a server. You know what I mean? So, I right now, Pennsylvania, he chose to keep Allegheny County closed. So, I don't know when I'm going back to work as far as that goes. And then even when you do go back, it's not going to be normal for a while.
Yeah, it's not going to be normal. I bet you they'll be limiting how many people can be in there at once.
Which is bullshit.
Yeah. Well, for people like me and you, I think we'll still be okay because of how we can interact with our tables. So we can make a decent amount of money from one table or two bar customers or whatever.
Right.
But for those people the servers that live on the turn and burn, they're going to have a problem.
Right.
Because you're not going to be able to turn and burn the same way.
Right.
But, yeah, it's unfortunate. I think you got the better job than me. We both went to grocery stores. How long did you wait? I waited a week.
I waited 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
It's actually, they hooked the job up. It was through them. It was in conjunction through Burgatory.
No shit. Burgatory hooked you guys up with all this?
Yeah.
No shit. Because that's a decent job, man.
Yeah.
Like, they pay good hourly right off the bat.
Yeah, and then they gave an extra $2 too because of the pandemic. So
we got the extra $2, but the extra $2 took me to $11.50. They were
15.
15.
Yeah.
God damn. Yeah, I started out at $9.50.
So when are y'all open down here in Ohio yet?
No. But what's crazy is we do have the liquor store still open. That's actually what I'm working in, is the liquor store inside of Kroger's.
Okay.
Most of the time, I do the grocery as well. But it's what's insane to me is that your governor or whatever closed down the liquor stores,
right?
But not the beer places,
right.
Just the liquor stores,
right?
So, man, it was getting crazy over here from PA people coming over here.
And they ain't allowed to now.
They're not allowed to now, dude. It was crazy the lines we would have at our liquor stores, man, because people were on their grind, man. Like this one dude, he was awesome. I wish I would have got his name and whatnot, but kind of an older black dude, and he was coming down and buying, like, I don't know, anywhere between 20 and 50 bottles of liquor at a time, and going back up and selling them for 10 to 20 more a bottle.
Okay.
He lost his job. He was like, man, I'm out here grinding.
Right.
But he was awesome. He was a really cool dude. He was one of the. I didn't really have a problem with PA people coming because I know if the roles were reversed, in Ohio's liquor was shut down, but PA's was open. We'd be in PA.
Right.
But some of them had attitudes. But this dude was cool as fuck. But so we were doing, before PA people started coming, like 30 to 40,000 in sales a week.
Okay.
When the PA people started coming, they were doing 30,000 a day. A day.
Damn.
We went from our deliveries for the liquor.
Crack money in the 80s.
Dude, it was crazy. We went from the liquor store. For our busy deliveries, we would get like 4 skids. We were getting 13 to 15 skids.
I feel bad for all the alcoholics in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, their only option is beer or somebody finding a place to get it for them.
Right.
That's why my sister...
Or wine.
Yeah. It's one of the reasons why I believe Ohio and a lot of other places decided not to, because, man, alcoholism's dangerous.
Yeah.
It's the only withdrawal you can die from. I think that and barbiturates. And you would be filling your hospitals with those people as well.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Which is probably happening low-key in Pennsylvania, but the only thing they're reporting is coronavirus stuff. So,
Back to what you were saying about got to be careful watching the news.
Right.
What I wish people did is just took the actual facts from the news, because the news is giving you some facts still, but they're putting their twist on it.
You just got to go to BBC when you watch the news.
Yeah.
BBC's
BBC's much better choice.
You got to be able to filter, people like to watch the news through their political eye. You know what I mean? So, the Democrats want to watch CNN and MSNBC, and the Republicans want to watch Fox. And it really, I watch Fox just because I want to see what they're talking about. You know what I mean? As idiotic as a lot of it is. But same thing when you watch too much of those other channels. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you just get too much of their opinion. It's just in your face. Like, of course, like, you know what I mean? Like, Fox is going to be Republican because the owner of the channel.
Right. That's what he wants to push.
Right. You know what I mean? And so when you get into the news, you're going to get that angle. You know what I mean? All these news media conglomerates are all under pretty much one or two umbrellas for real. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Viacom is pretty much one of them.
Yeah.
And they own, pretty much, they own MTV, they own BET, you know what I mean? They own all. And then you got Disney, who owns ABC and ESPN and all that stuff. So you're going to get the views of those owners.
Right.
Whatever their political view is or their opinion is, that's all their agenda is really going to push.
Right.
Like, look at Disney, and this has nothing to do with the news, but Disney's like, family oriented. You know what I mean? This, that, and the other. Disney puts out movies that are rated R.
Yeah.
So is that family oriented?
And they own the UFC.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You know
they
what
don't
I mean?
own the UFC, but they own the television rights to the UFC.
I'm just saying, so they need to. And then look at how the Star Wars are this go round. Like, they're a lot more graphic.
Yeah.
They have a lot more language in them. You know what I mean? Because they got to keep up with the times and stuff like that. And so nobody gives a shit that Disney has Disney World and Disneyland, and they want to keep their parks family friendly. But as far as, like, them trying to water down all their entertainment, I think it ends up killing stuff, you know what I mean? But also it creates the lane for the other companies to be able to put out that content.
Mm-hmm. But
we need weak rappers to be able to appreciate the good rappers.
That's true.
Same stuff. It
We
goes
got
hand
plenty
in
of
hand
them
in
right
any
now.
of them. Yeah.
Got plenty of weak rappers.
Speaking, so you're from St. Louis. What's your opinion on your boy Nelly?
Well, Nelly, I don't think is one of the best or anything like that, but I think especially that Country Grammar, I think he was making good music.
He did make good music. I just don't think he rapped.
No, he was like sing rapping. Yeah, for sure.
The entire time, like, I never heard him, slow down and really and start rapping.
Right. Well, the perfect example is how he tours now. You know who he tours with now? It's all country music stars.
Oh, I didn't know that. Hey, Nelly, go get that bag, Nelly.
Right. Well, and then he also got caught on that bus with a whole bunch of meth. Like, you can't be smoking meth, bro.
He probably was selling that shit.
Baby. He's going to country concerts.
Yeah. Nelly, one thing about Nelly, man, is Nelly knows how to get that money. And
oh, without a doubt.
It's like you said, like, if you're in a club and they're playing his music, you're going to, join in and either bob your head or you're gonna dance, you know what I mean? Because he put out music at the time that, was club worthy, you know what I mean? Like that.
And it was a lot different than most of the stuff that was being made at the time.
Right. And it sold.
Yo, man, dude. So that Country Grammar was everywhere.
And
man.
that other one sold more than that, I think. That Nellyville.
Yeah, they all sold there for a while.
Right.
He was actually a really good baseball player.
Yeah, one of my best friends, shout out to James Dinkins. he he moved after he graduated. He moved to St. Louis. He still lives there now.
Oh, okay.
And his older brother played on the softball team with Nelly.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
I think remember MTV, what was it?
Rock and
Jock.
Yeah.
I think Nelly ruined that because he was just so much better.
Yeah, he
than
was.
everybody
Yeah,
else. Didn't matter what sport they played.
Yeah,
He was killing.
He's an
it.
athlete. Yeah.
It didn't matter if it was basketball, but man, those old school Rock and Jocks, I loved those, man. Especially because at first it was just softball.
I think the only reason you don't like Kobe as a player because you liked him more as a rapper.
You know that's not true.
You got his album up there next to that jersey.
Is that why you're such a big Allen Iverson fan? Because you loved his album?
Oh, wow. You got the Chicago Bears Super Bowl shuffle in your car. You was playing it when you pulled up.
Super Bowl shuffle. Oh, man.
Oh, man.
You need to take that?
Yeah, hold on a second.
All right, go ahead and pause this.
Son was like, man, when you come, can you bring me a Jimmy Wapo shirt? And this is before Wapo got killed.
Oh, yeah?
And I was like, you know who Wapo is?
I actually don't even know who he is.
But I'm like, he's from Fresno, California, yo. And I'm like, you know who Jimmy Wapo is, yo? Wow. But that just lets you know how far music's reaches.
Yeah, Wapo's from this area?
He's from the Hill District.
Oh, okay. No shit. I'm going to have to look him up. He had some good shit?
Yeah, I mean, he's into the newer wave, but Wapo was nice. I like Wapo.
Yeah. So he's not like a Little Yachty or something like that. Even Jacob was like, oh God.
Not only couldn't Lil Yachty couldn't rap, but he also ruined How High franchise.
Man, did he make a How High movie?
How High 2 is him and DC Young Fly.
That's awful.
I got about 10 minutes in and I was like, I just can't do this. I just can't do it.
How did Meth and Red even let that happen?
They don't own the rights to the characters. I talked to Red, man, when I was talking to him. He was like, whoever the film company is, I think it's MTV or something like that, owns the characters, Jamal and so they didn't even want to bring them on as consultants for the movie because they just flat out didn't want to pay them because they wanted money this time.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so he said that, excuse me.
So are those two playing the same characters, Yachty and DC Young Fly?
No.
They're different people. Okay.
Yeah.
But
they're, they didn't, Meth and Red said they have a movie ready to go for those characters.
Yeah.
But they're just going to give them different names.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, just have to play the same character.
Right.
But yeah.
So they just want to, they got to sell it. But they were trying to figure out whether they were going to sell it to a film company or just put it out by themselves.
Did they briefly do a TV show together?
Yeah, they're all them episodes are on YouTube.
Are they?
Yeah.
I remember seeing like one or two, and I remember thinking it was kind of funny. But
It's like the Red and Meth show.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called. See if you can find that.
Method Man's mom lives with them.
Yeah.
And they're like live in Hollywood, and they're like,
Yeah.
this is a big mansion.
Yeah, I thought it was something like that.
And it's the same mom from How High, but it's Method Man's mom in this one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, ain't that crazy?
Yeah. So it is just Method and Red on Fox.
I don't even think it lasted a full season.
I don't think it did either. How many episodes? 1, 2.
It said it get canceled after 4, but there's 13.
Oh, okay. That's unfortunate, man. I bet you it was decent, but probably especially for that time frame,
It's
hard to get
just-
people into.
You can watch them they're on YouTube.
I might have to check that out.
Have you ever seen Black Dynamite?
No.
Oh, I started to bring it, yo. You got that movie. You'll got that movie. Michael Jai White.
Yeah.
It's him, but he plays like this. It's a knockoff on 70s blaxploitation movies.
Oh, okay.
So you ever see those movies where the dude is like always a ex-CIA agent and war hero and pimp and
So it says Black Dynamite is the greatest African American action star of the 1970s. When his only brother is killed by the man, it's up to him to find justice. Scroll down, let me see who all's in this. So Phyllis Applegate is the first one on there. That's ridiculous. I don't see Jotty on there.
He's the star. Tommy Davidson's in it. Arsenio Hall's in it. Who else?
Why is he not like? Yeah, because I still haven't seen Black Dynamite on there either. Scroll up.
Black Dynamite is Michael Jai White.
Yeah, but for some reason he's not even listed on there.
He directed it and produced it and wrote it.
Women at Table, see full cast. It's ridiculous that he's not listed on there. Like Black Dynamite, where you at? Drug dealing pimp is listed ahead of Black Dynamite. 18-year-old Black Dynamite. Black chick, white chick. There he is. Yep, there he is. Black Dynamite. Why is he all the way down there? I'll watch that. I'll watch anything with him, especially in action, because he's actually one of the legit badasses.
But it's like an action comedy.
Yeah.
But then once you watch it, let me know, because they made a cartoon on Adult Swim. That's funny too.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Over the same character.
Yeah,
yeah. I'll check that out.
And it has all the same people doing the voices and shit.
Okay. Because I'll watch anything with Jahadi White, honestly, if it's an action movie, because he really is a legit action person. He's actually a badass. He has like 10 different black belts.
This movie was so popular that he was supposed to do it too, and then I don't know what the hell happened.
Actually, yeah, it got a 7.4 out of 10.
It's like a cult classic.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. 2009. Yeah, I'll check that out for sure. What does it say? Why does it say France on there? 13 January 2010, France. I don't know. What were we talking about before that phone call, though? Oh, we were kind of talking about media. Like, you're definitely right about they put their spin on all the news. My thing is you can still just get the facts if you look for them. I don't really watch either of the regular news channels. I get most of mine from podcasts and actually reading some. But I think you can still watch those and pick out the facts and then make your own decisions.
Right.
But they should stop doing that. At least their flagship news show should just be unbiased news. Like, here's just the facts of what's going on. But no, nobody has that anymore.
No, because it's the same premise on all the channels. It's always like somebody supporting their narrative, somebody against their narrative, and then a mediator.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate. You ever watch that, it was an HBO show called Newsroom?
No,
It was better than I expected. I figured it took me a while to watch it because I was like, I don't even like watching the news. Why would I watch a show about the news?
Right.
But they talk in there about how the news is so biased, and they start trying to do an actual just news show where they're just giving you the facts. Like, you're very aware of the main newscaster is played by Jeff Daniels.
Yeah,
he's played by him.
And it's hard for me to take him serious because
all the goofy
Dumb
movies.
and Dumber.
Yeah.
That's like Cousin Eddie on Vacation.
Yeah. Yeah. But he does really well in the role, and they let you know what his leanings are, but he leaves them out of his news reporting, and he attacks people from the left or the right equally. Okay. Attack's a bad word. He just asks them the questions that need to be asked. Okay. You know what I mean? And it ends up being really good, and probably one of the best speeches of all time is in that show. Okay. Talking about, somebody asked him in this thing in the beginning, like, why do you think America is the greatest country in the world? And he tries to, like, give the bullshit answer. Okay. And then something snaps in him, and he was like, he says it's not the greatest country in the world, and goes through this whole thing, and he says, but it used to be, So it's good. I recommend checking it out if you get the opportunity.
Speaking of which, since about America not being the best country in the world, pull up YouTube and pull up Farrakhan 60 Minutes.
Oh, Farrakhan 60 Minutes.
Because this sums up how like the ideology is in America as far as like how people think. Because you got one side and then the other side.
You know how to spell that for?
K-H. No, just go back. It's one word. You got it. And then K-H-A-N. And then put 60 minutes. Just put 60. Yeah, there you go. There's like a short one. There it is right there.
You go to Nigeria, which is, if not the most corrupt nation in Africa, and it is, it could be the most corrupt nation in the world, Minister Farrakhan.
Oh, now, Mr. Wallace.
It is the most corrupt nation that I have ever covered. I've been there 25 years ago, and I've been there as recently as last year.
Fine. So what? 35 years old. That's what that nation is. Now here's America, 226 years old. you love democracy, but there in Africa, you're trying to force these people into a system of government that you just have accepted. 30 years ago, black folk got the right to vote. You're not in any moral position to tell anybody how corrupt they are. You should be quiet and let those of us who know our people go there and help them get out of that condition. But America should keep her mouth shut. Wherever there's a corrupt regime, as much hell as America has raised on the earth. No, I will not allow America, or you, Mr. Wallace, to condemn them as the most corrupt nation on earth when you have spilled the blood of human beings. Has Nigeria dropped an atomic bomb and killed people in Hiroshima and Nagasaki? Have they killed off millions of Native Americans? How dare you put yourself in that position as a moral judge? I think you should keep quiet, because with that much blood on America's hands, you have no right to speak. I will speak because I don't have that blood on my hands. Yes, there's corruption there. Yes, there's mismanagement of resources. Yes, there is abuse. There's abuse in every nation on earth, including this one. So let's not play holy to moralize on them. Let's help
I'm
them.
not moralizing. I'm asking a question, and I got an answer.
Why would you put it as the most corrupt regime in the world? That doesn't make sense.
Can you think of one more corrupt?
Yeah, I'm living in one. I'm living in one. Yes. You've done a hell of a thing on this earth, so you should not be the one to talk. You should be quiet when it comes to moral condemnation. In my judgment.
Well, what you got to say about that?
I mean, the facts he gave were not wrong.
Uh-uh.
And to act like America isn't corrupt, it would be insane.
Right.
Like, there are good people and bad people. And like he said, every nation has corruption.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
and
yeah.
it gets to the point where, a lot of people in America think that, because, they're Americans that, that they're better than every other country. You know what I mean? And that's just everybody has the good and the bad, and they need to realize that. You know what I mean? So
absolutely, because I think we can both agree we both love living in America.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Right. But we can't act like there's no faults.
but at the same time, you know what I mean? Like, look at America now. Look who's running it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if you have the opportunity to move away, you might consider it now. You know what I mean? So
I consider it even without who's running the country. I feel like, man, where can I live with a very minimal amount of money on like a
Right.
island type of vibe? You
Right.
know what I mean?
right.
But
my
yeah.
homeboy lives in Japan, and he says, man, like, that all this taxation and all this stuff, and he said, man, that's just like, that doesn't go on over there. And
Yeah.
he's able to actually own all of his stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, and it's what's crazy about America at this point in time is, like, I'm not a fan of Donald Trump, but I also do see the few good things he has done while in office. But he has created a lot of animosity between Americans themselves.
Right.
But I also think he's going to win again.
I think he is too. It's
'Cause-
crazy.
Well, dude, the Democrats put up a guy who's
The Democrats suck. They're losing for real. They're putting him in office.
they're for sure putting him in office. This guy can't even form sentences anymore. Like, at one point, he might have been a decent politician. I'm not even going to get into that, but he's not.
Who, Biden?
Yeah.
He's simple.
He's gone.
He ain't as bad
he's-
as Hillary, but
but he's as bad as Hillary in the fact that I think he for real has like dementia, like literally.
so does Trump.
But this is bad. I mean, literally, he forgets.
This motherfucker said to eat Tide Pods, and
He didn't say eat Tide Pods, but I get what you're saying. Yeah, he did. He did very clearly. Both sides are misrepresenting what he said, but what he said was insane. He said that we needed to look into doing something with Clorox or disinfectants and injecting them. Now, he didn't say people do that, which is what the left is trying to say. He said,
Right.
He's also not a genius like the right is trying to make it out to be. He said some crazy fucking shit.
Right.
He said doctors need to look into that. You can't inject fucking Clorox into your
I mean, but at this point in the game, as long as he's been the president, people need to start like just giving the benefit of the doubt to certain things. Like, this somebody digging up somebody's tweets from 50 years ago, and not tweets
ridiculous.
from 50 years ago. 'Cause they ain't had that, but just digging up their comments from
Yeah.
this long ago and this, that, and the other. And Trump is. Everybody knows he's an idiot when he talks. So
Right.
why, quit hanging on every word he says, because,
Right.
from a comedic standpoint, it's great.
amazing.
Right. But,
It's
from a political standpoint, you're a fool if you're looking for anything political coming out of his mouth. And if it does come out of his mouth, it's an advisor that he's quoting.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or misquoting half the time. But, at the end of the day, man.
The left needs to stop. The left news and everything like that needs to stop twisting what he says. Like, it's ridiculous enough on its own. Just let it be the ridiculous, hilarious thing that he fucking says.
Right.
Like, this dude retweeted his own tweet. You are on Twitter way too much, bro.
He is he's like the biggest one upper. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you have a conversation with him, what kind of brandy is that, or what?
It's actually bourbon.
Bourbon. What kind of bourbon?
It's
is that?
Benchmark.
And is that a good bourbon?
No, well, I like it, but it's actually considered a bottom shelf one. But it's
Okay.
one that I found that is really good.
So what's the top shelf one you like?
So top shelf one I like that I have here is biggest one people would know, Bland's.
And he would be like, I have a better one than that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Guarantee.
You know what I mean? Like,
He's like,
it's
I actually have a Blanton's, but it's better than that Bland's.
Right, and it's the Donald Trump blend.
Yeah, it's the Donald Trump blend, and it is better than the one that you have there on your table. He literally has done that. Like, so this pandemic is going on, and he's like, my press conferences on the pandemic have the best ratings of everything on TV. It's great ratings, and that makes for a great country. It's like, what are you talking about? You talking about ratings right now? First of all, there's not even anything on TV.
When he wanted to sue Saturday Night Live, who's made fun of every fucking president.
Yep, every president ever.
He hates Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, he does. Oh my god!
And I thought at first that Will Ferrell was the best president when he did Bush, but Alec Baldwin kills Trump. Yo.
He nails it. That voice, it seems like it should be an easy voice to do, and I just tried to do it. But
you sound pretty good.
But it is ridiculous. But Biden is the worst. To me, Biden in his current state, because for real, he has literally, his brain is going. That's as far as I can see from watching him talk in his speeches. These debates between him and Trump are going to be a fucking massacre. Because he's not there.
Can you imagine?
He's literally losing his mind.
Can you imagine just the sexual harassment that's going to be going on there between them two?
They just touching everybody.
Yeah.
Donald Trump is grabbing all the pussies, and Biden sniffing everybody.
Yeah. Oh man, Saturday Night Live is going to have a field day with them.
Field day. Well, the second Biden trips up his words, which he's going to do because he's lost. It's like he's a puppet they're putting up there trying to get him to please just say the right things.
Right.
But he's literally got Alzheimer's or dementia or something happening, and he's going to fuck up. It's going to happen a lot. And
See,
Donald Trump
I'm a
immediately,
comedian, so I was pissed when Kanye sided with Trump because I wanted Kanye to run because that would have been hilarious. Can you imagine him in a debate with Trump and Biden?
just two of the craziest people up there. Because
Oh my god,
Kanye, as good as his music is, he's fucking Looney Tunes.
I'm sorry, Trump. I hate to interrupt you, but Beyonce had the best promo video.
If we're gonna look at what the country needs, then we need to look at Beyonce's last music video, and we need to realize that religion needs to come back into the fold for white people.
Don't debate me. I'm a god.
And Trump would actually, because Trump wants to vote from the Kanye side, he'd be like, I actually agree with you. That is a great point, but we're going to do it like this because I am a business mastermind and you are a music producer.
You're not Phil Knight. Nike still owes me money.
Oh my God, that would be amazing.
Just rambling. Shut up and go make some beats.
Right. Well, he's got his own religion and shit now.
Listen, I was out there and I told you my aunt's connected, so we actually had an opportunity to go to Sunday service.
Okay.
It's not per se like he's up there preaching. They're just playing music, and he's got some of the best musicians in L.A. playing with him.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, at first it was just in Calabasas every Sunday and stuff like that. Then it started getting, popular.
Because it's big, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily like a religion. It's just, people sitting up there playing, music and,
Right. But they're wearing costumes and shit.
Well, I mean, somewhat. They're just pretty much they're playing music, and that's pretty much their version of gospel.
Now, I could be remembering this wrong, or it could just be not true. One of the two. But he wears one color, and nobody else can wear that same color, right?
That I don't know.
Okay,
I'm not putting it past him because he's into some shit like that. But from what I hear, and like I said, the only reason that we didn't go because I missed the phone call,
right?
And my aunt was only out there for 2 weeks, and she's one of her students was the one that had a ticket for it. Mm-hmm. So, man, but it's just it's just music. You know what I mean?
No, it looks like people are wearing the same color as him on there. But yeah, it's crazy.
But there, look at that's probably some shit from his line because his clothing line looks like homeless people clothes.
It's so crazy. I don't even like his shoes, and they sell for tons of money.
I like certain versions because I'm a sneakerhead.
Right.
So.
I don't even. I'm sure they're comfortable as fuck. They look comfortable. They look like sweaters for your
I'll
feet.
give you Jordan when it comes to sneakerhead. So
yeah.
Sneakers.
So, he's got the best looking sneakers. I don't even buy sneakers, but I always
just Nikes in general.
Yeah, Nikes in general. But I would much remember Kobe Bryant when Adidas. His shoes were terrible. Yeah. They weren't even comfortable. That's when I still played basketball a lot, and they killed my feet.
I didn't wear them. I've always, been a Nike head.
Yeah, the only reason I got them is because of the time I was in the Air Force and I was just starting out, so I didn't really have a bunch of money, and they had the Kobe Bryants on sale for $60, and they're normally $130. So I was like, let me get them.
This is how old I am. My first pair of Jordans were the very first Jordans when he was a rookie.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They
no
were
shit.
$65.
How crazy is that? Now
my mom was like, I ain't buying them. She got them for me for Christmas. It was the last gift. She hid them, and she's like, are you satisfied with your Christmas? And I was like, yeah. And then she came downstairs with the Jordans, and I was like, whew.
Hey, hold on. Jacob just sent me a tweet, but you know what's funny? It's already been deleted.
Oh, really?
Pull it up. When I clicked on it, it said this tweet has been deleted.
I have it right here.
You have it?
Yeah.
Okay, because I missed it. So what is it?
It's a transcript from Joe Biden. And this is word for word. He says, "We cannot let this. We've never allowed any crisis from the Civil War straight through the pandemic of 17. All the way around 16. We have never let our democracy take second fiddle. We can both have a democracy and correct the public health."
It sounds like he has spell unchecker.
Dude, he literally is going. He either has dementia or Alzheimer's for real. If you seriously, when we get off of here, and you go home, start looking up some of his talks. Just look up Joe Biden dementia, and you're gonna see the craziest bunch of shit you've ever seen.
First of all, listen, how old are these dudes?
And his face looks like a mask.
How old are these dudes?
Joe Biden's 77.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you imagine your granddad with Twitter? I'm just saying,
but
man.
that actually wasn't Twitter. That was.
But I'm just
he wasn't tweeting. That was him giving a speech.
But
and they just transcribed it.
They're on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
So
well,
can you
especially
imagine?
Donald Trump.
My dad can't work his goddamn phone.
No,
for real.
Yeah, my
Can you
dad
imagine him
either.
on Twitter?
Yeah.
So he'd probably be spelling shit wrong and saying it wrong and stuff like that. So imagine him
he'd be using those
with
abbreviations
dementia.
wrong.
Yeah. First of all, it'd be coming from a flip phone, so it would be like 2222 to be like B and then 3333. You know what I mean? So
you know who has a great Twitter? Have you seen OJ Simpson on Twitter?
No, I don't.
He does videos.
Remember oh no, you guys the black race got him back on the racial draft. That's some bullshit.
He talking about that Chappelle shit. Yeah.
Hey, that was funny though when he was like black race request Eminem.
That was good. But dude, OJ Simpson, as soon as he got out, he got on Twitter and he made a video, and so like his thing on Twitter now is he starts every video with "Hello, Twitter world." He's something else. He actually,
Why is anybody paying attention to him?
I don't know, but the funniest things do happen. Like you probably didn't watch it because I couldn't watch it either. That Tiger King shit on Netflix.
Yeah, I watched that shit.
Did
That
you
shit's
watch
hilarious.
It is. I can't watch it. It's so bad.
That shit. It wasn't filmed down here.
But did you hear? Did you hear that? Did you hear O.J. Simpson weighed in on whether Carol Baskins killed her husband?
She definitely did.
Yeah, he said, oh, she definitely killed her husband. And somebody made a post that was like, well, hey man, if OJ weighed in and said she did it, then I'm gonna believe him.
Takes one to know one, right?
Yeah.
But only thing about OJ, he didn't do it by himself.
But he probably had some help at least covering shit up for sure.
And I've been by that house in LA.
Yeah.
It's like Brentwood, I believe. And first of all, I don't know how the neighbors didn't hear that shit going on.
Oh, they did. But you know how people are, especially in a rich white neighborhood. They're like,
Yeah, okay, so the police, if it's a rich white neighborhood, the police should have been there in 5 seconds.
if they got called. But rich white people be like, we don't even want to look
You
that
hear-
way. We don't want to look that way. We're just gonna let whatever's going on over there
That's
go on over there.
different when you hear somebody like arguing and they might hear like a hit or something like that. But when you hear two people getting stabbed to death, yeah, I mean, like you're gonna at least pick up the phone and call 911.
you would think,
Like you ain't gonna be like, but
they might.
There ain't nothing but Nicole and OJ going at it again, Who's that man screaming?
Who's
Like,
that
you're-
man screaming? But honestly, they might have thought it was just like a domestic violence thing. I mean, I'm sure it sounded way different, but people are weird, man.
I'm telling you, bro,
and I
like-
think it's the biggest problem with the current culture. Regardless, is people just they see something terrible going on, they just go, oh shit, let me just look this way, and they just get out of there.
Yeah, most of the time, you know what I mean? Like
But a stabbing to death, I get you. That's probably some serious screaming.
You heard that shit going on right now outside somebody's picking up the phone. First thing somebody's doing is nosy is opening the curtain and seeing what it is. You go, ooh, shit, this motherfucker's out here stabbing people. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I know you look at World Star Hip Hop sometimes, right?
I used to.
I still look at it just every day.
Is
just
that even still active after Q
quick
died?
glimpse, man. It's super active, but
Okay.
it's I'd say it's gone downhill.
Yeah, because the owner died.
Yeah, but but you'll see people on there all the time. Instead of making a phone call, these people are just recording people getting stabbed. They're like, "Oh shit, he stabbed him! Oh,
Yeah.
you see this shit? He stabbed him!" Like, is anybody gonna call the cops? Is anybody gonna call the cops? No, because then you'd be a snitch.
Yeah, but then aren't you a snitch if you're uploading it up onto social media?
Fucking right you are. Dude, it's crazy how many videos I see now of people getting shot and or robbed. Like, you see people sitting in their car and they're like flexing their money. They're like, oh, look at this. And then you just see a hand reach in the window and grab all the money.
Yeah, I saw that.
And they're like, oh, shit.
Look, snitching is okay in this generation, it seems.
Oh, without a doubt.
Look at 6ix9ine's about to talk about he's going to drop some music. Watch his shit still be semi-popular.
And I don't have no idea why it's popular in the first place.
Exactly.
He's terrible. I have a
He's
friend.
horrible.
I have a friend, Wayne Morales. Shout out Wayne. He was actually supposed to be on the podcast, but I don't know what happened. But he loves 6ix9ine. He's like, well, you just got to change with the times of music. No, I do not. If music is shit, it's shit.
Well, if I ain't never met him, if he had 100 points, he lost 5 by liking 6ix9ine.
Right, rainbow bright looking dude.
Like, what's the draw? Like, how do you sit back and I'm gonna roll up and listen to some 6ix9ine?
Yeah, I don't understand it at all. That dude does. I don't see any redeeming qualities to that dude. But he's also weird. Like, he's from New Orleans, so he's all Lil Wayne, which.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Well, which the Carter 2 I loved. The Carter 1 was okay.
Carter
3 was
hard,
good.
now his mixtape run is
Yeah, but
unprecedented.
But in the past few years, it's gone downhill.
Well, I mean, he was little, he was legally tied up with Baby, and so he couldn't release anything.
But even once he did get to release,
Oh,
I don't think they were that good.
This last album was pretty decent. That Funeral.
I got to check it out more. I have it on the phone.
He got this song on there called Mamma Mia, where he just
yeah. He's got a weird train of thought when he raps, though. Like, the Carter 2 was just so good. I love the Carter 2.
Excuse me, I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't like Wayne at first because when he first started rapping, I just wasn't into.
When he was a kid.
exactly. But I was into Manny Fresh,
Right.
the beats.
Yeah.
And I was even into Beats by the Pound
Yeah.
for the No Limit people that made their beats. But I couldn't get into their rap. And I like Juvenile.
I didn't even like Juvenile that much.
I like Juvenile, and I liked
Juvenile.
for some reason I like BG. He ain't like the lyricist by no stretch of imagination, but
he was authentic.
right, yeah. There's certain rappers that I like, just because of how they rap. You know what I mean?
But some
like,
of Juvenile's biggest songs, he was barely rapping. He was just saying "Hey" afterwards.
that's just on that
Be
one
back in the
song.
back, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like it didn't matter what words you said because you said yeah.
I mean,
afterwards.
this is coming from the dude who says, who likes Eminem, who always, rhymes with esophagus with rhinoceros and shit like that. So don't even talk to me about what somebody's rapping
At
about.
least those are different words.
M makes up words too.
Hey, but I mean that's happened throughout history. Snoop, ain't nobody made up more words than Snoop.
First of all, since we brought up Snoop, it took me years to realize that Snoop really isn't a lyricist because
Isn't it painful?
it is but it's his delivery and his draw.
Yeah.
But when you start breaking down, like when you get older, a lot of the rappers that you loved, you start seeing them for what they were. Like when I was young, I ain't gonna lie, like the Beastie Boys was popping. License to Ill is still a great album, and I like Paul's Boutique and I like Check Your Head and all of that. But when I got older and started listening to the Beastie Boys and the shit that they was rapping about, they ain't rapping about nothing.
No, partying.
He said, my man MC8 got a beard like a billy goat. Like, what? Like, seriously, you wrote that down?
How would you rap about this beard?
Or Action Bronson.
Dude, honestly, going back and trying to listen.
Like Hove say, what he said, I got to kill witnesses because free beard's sticking out. That's what he...
Dude, going back and listening, because I always
Hove
loved
might be
Snoop.
the greatest MC, yo.
I always loved Snoop, and when I went back and listened to Snoop recently, I was like, why did I like this so much? Like, I love everything about Snoop.
Tell me, listen,
But,
if they
man,
told
it's really not
Snoop he
there.
couldn't count in his songs, he's always counting.
1, 2,
Yeah.
3 into
Yeah.
the fold. Snoop Doggy Dogg and Dr. Dre is at the door.
He said on the one song, he said, PIMPROG. I fuck you and you pay me. I was like, if that ain't some Dr. Seuss ass. But, everybody, you would love to hang out with Snoop.
Hell yeah.
And Snoop is on 2 of the greatest albums of all time. And one of them is his album,
Which one would you call that?
Doggy Style and The Chronic.
Doggy Style. The Chronic, for sure, I knew was there. I was wondered about his own album. Because I went back and I was listening to Doggy Style, and, I mean, it's good.
It's great. That's a flawless album.
But, man, you know what turns me off about some of those albums?
And he's actually you can't compare that rapping on those 2 albums. It's after that
Yeah.
because he still got a little bit of lyricism in him on those albums, but you're not at the same time. You don't, Snoop was one of the biggest rap stars. He was the biggest music star before Doggy Style. That was the most anticipated album of all time.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but when you really listen to him now, Snoop. Sometimes when you get lazy when you got a bunch of money.
Yeah, well, I think he's an American icon. I really do. So
He
I'm
is.
not
He
talking
is.
shit on Snoop, but I was really let down when I went back and listened to some of his music. I really was. I was like, God damn. And you know what I
Hov
hate
ain't
about
like that.
And you know what I hate about those old albums is their their intros and the shit they put in the middle.
Oh, that's great.
Man, some of them are just so too much for me.
No, that
so too much.
All the Snoops are pretty. All Dre and them Snoops or skits are pretty good.
You remember the one where Dre, it's a doctor's office. And
Oh, yeah,
he's like,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
here
yeah.
to see Dre, and you can just hear him fucking in the
Yeah,
background. I'm
yeah.
like, Jesus Christ! Like, listen, if you're sitting at a red light and you're bumping Dre, and then all of a sudden that comes on, you just hear
Oh yeah.
You're like, oh hey everybody, my bad. Hey,
You
what's
can
going
see
on?
Dr. Dre's big dick fucking somebody if you look into the.
But
But the 20 sack pyramid was great.
yeah, that was good. Yeah. That was good.
Yeah, I mean, even, like, there's not a weak song on Doggy Style.
I'm going to have to go back and listen to Doggy Style again. I just did recently, and I was a little let down, but I listened to, I think, one song. But, all love for Snoop, but I agree with you. There's a lot of people you go back and listen to, and you're like, God, why did you like this so much?
Oh, yeah.
Like, Eazy-E had some of the funniest things, but first of all, he wasn't rapping at all. He wasn't writing at all.
No, he should have let Ice. The song he sound like he better not have had somebody write his verse on For the Love of Money.
I don't know if he did or not, but the one that always sticks.
Standing on a corner, slanging rocks.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, here come the motherfucking cops. Like, that sounds like some shit that you would write drunk.
You want to talk about writing drunk? You know the one that always sticks out of my head is that one that goes on the Green Acres beat. In some pussy is the place to be. Oh yeah, he was for me.
He was that, and people like that shit.
Dude, it was so bad.
Yeah.
Fuck this shit. Just let me put my dick inside.
Give me that nut. They love that shit. That's like, what's that dude's name? Akinelli.
I don't know him.
Put it in your mouth. I know you've heard that song.
I've heard that song. Yeah. And people love that. Girls love that.
The only song he had I like was that "Fuck Me for Free."
Dude, you know what's insane about music is girls be talking about how they need to be treated right, but then they love songs like "Put It in My Mouth."
Yeah.
They're singing it like waving their hand.
And you're a dude and you see a girl singing "Put It in My Mouth" at the club. You're like, oh, I'm hollering at her. Fuck that. She's definitely giving some up tonight.
And then she's like,
she's the most uptight,
And then she's like, you need to treat me right. Like, right. You was just singing "Put It in My Mouth."
Your titties are out and you ain't got no drawers on.
Shit. So
I can
crazy.
see your titties through your cleavage of your sweatshirt.
So funny, man. Dudes just need to treat me right. Now, let me play this song by Women Are All Hookers.
Or and then you be like, you end up talking to them like, you find out, oh yeah, my ex, find out your ex used to black your eyes and shit like that. Like how you was staying with him?
Yeah. Like, why did you get out of that? Well, you don't understand. He loves me.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
Who the hell loves somebody that, I'm not staying with somebody that's beating me up.
Nope. Listen, one time, this is how crazy it could be. One time, we were at the mall here, this little bougie mall we got. I use bougie wrong because I remember how it used to be used. And now bougie's like, oh, bougie means good.
Right,
it used to be some bullshit.
Right.
I'm stuck in my time.
See, it's this generation,
But so the bullshit ass mall we got. But we were going into the movie theater and like a parking lot over to the Macy's parking lot area. I saw some people yelling, and then this dude picked up this girl and slammed her on the ground.
Damn.
So I ran over there. And now I got this dude up against his car with his like neck bent over like the top of the car, and the girl jumped on my back and starts hitting me like, "You leave him alone." I'm like, "Are you fucking serious right now? Like this dude just tried to murder you basically." Like he picked her up and slammed her on the ground hard like pile driver.
Oh damn!
And then as soon as I got over there and I had him locked up, she jumped on me, started punching me. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Y'all can just be crazy together.
What the hell?
But that's how that shit goes. It's so fucking crazy.
And then how's she on the phone with her, like, girlfriends? Yeah, girl, Ray slammed me today. Nah, he slammed me for real. Like, like The Rock.
Yeah. What did she say to her girl about the dude that ran over and tried to help her? Like, yeah, he slammed me today. Like, he really tried to hurt me. And then this dude ran over and grabbed him up, but I started punching him because fuck him, right? Like,
right.
What?
I ain't punch Ray back, but
What the fuck just happened?
How the fuck was she still like, conscious after he slammed her?
Man, slammed her. Like, I don't know if she actually hit her head, but like literally I was with like 4 or 5 people and we saw the slam. Everybody went, "Oh shit."
Oh, damn.
Yeah, like slammed her hard. But she did. She got up, jumped on my back. She's literally like, I had her on like a backpack and she was just punching me in the head. It's so fucking ridiculous.
You can imagine the other moves he's put on her. Like he's definitely like DDT'd her, and
well, dude, if he did that in public,
Right.
Imagine what happens, because it was daytime
Right.
too. This isn't even like it was late at night. It was daytime.
She's dead right now, probably.
There's a good chance.
Yeah.
Because she couldn't leave that abusive ass relationship. Because if he did that in public, it was way
Right.
worse at home.
But again, like if Mike Tyson was your roommate and he started fucking you up, or why don't you move out? Oh, because he pays his rent on time. You know what I mean? Like that don't make no fucking sense.
Man, speaking of Mike Tyson, did you see the recent video of him getting back in shape and throwing them things?
Yeah.
Holy shit, man! He's just got that quickness to him, and he throws a punch perfect. His whole body goes into it. Have you seen this, Jacob? Yeah, pull that up. You got to see that.
Yeah, his uppercut is something vicious.
Look, he had put it in your mouth, pulled up, ready to play.
He's gonna put it. He's gonna play that when he goes on the way home. Try to put it on to see if a girl plays that, starts singing that. Yeah, just like he said on the podcast.
But so he said he's doing this. He's getting back in shape because he wants to do charity fights. Who is signing up for a charity fight against Mike Tyson?
I don't.
Look at that. This is him today.
Charity? I want paid for that shit.
There's no way. I don't even know how much you'd have to pay me to go in there with that, man.
Oh, I need like 10, 15 mil.
Does that look a little ferocious, Jacob?
Oh yeah, I'd say.
I need 10 or 15 mil because you got to figure you're going to be in the hospital for like half a year.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. One of those body shots that he rips right here, one of these body shots breaks everything on the side of my body.
Listen, that is going to be the shortest fight in the history. He's going to hit whoever he hits them one. Like if he fights like an amateur or some like random person.
Imagine if it's a celebrity boxing thing where he fights another celebrity. Oh, what if it's Logan Paul? I hope it's Logan Paul.
He's going to die.
He's going to be hurt real bad.
Can you imagine, like, if he hits one of us, we might die.
Well, I'll tell you one of the things I noticed in this video. You remember how bad his gut it had gotten? You realize
you
that's
notice
gone.
that dude only let him do it like one or two times, and then he walked away. He's like, I'm good.
He almost falls over right here, too. He's got all these pads on. He almost falls over right there. He almost falls over. Dude, but you realize, remember how bad his gut got? You realize in that video it's gone? That gut's gone.
Yeah. Can you imagine? All right, I just need you to hold the mitts while I hit,
Yeah.
I just finished smoking a blunt. Man, you're
'cause
not
he's
going to be
high as
able
hell.
to. No, I'm just saying, I'm not going to be able to get out of the way that fast, right? Because look, he's got to duck under and like that, like.
Well, and you know what's crazy too? First of all, he must have found some peace because for a long time he was saying he didn't even train anymore because he didn't like the person he was when he did that. So he must have hit some kind of revelation or something that he could start messing around again. But I'll tell you what.
Do you notice that how hard he's hitting and he's not really sweating?
No. And the other thing I have to say is with where the heavyweight boxing place is, there's like 3 fighters that are good in heavyweight
right now.
And that's really it. Like he could probably tear up a lot of heavyweights right now at his age. Look how fast and powerful.
First of all, they're not half of them. If and in this corner, when you look across the ring and see that, you're like, all right, I'm good. It'd be like you ever see that footage of that dude who seen how big that his opponent was and just walked out the ring?
Yeah.
That's what
for sure saw that. I forgot about that guy. He was kind of a chubbier dude. He's like, nope, never mind. He did. He just got out of the ring. It was a professional boxing fight, televised.
I was crying. I was like, dude was like, he was like, that was a straight business decision right there. He was like, nah.
It's worth the hit I'm gonna take.
Yep, he was like, I'm good.
Yeah. He said that I'm looking over across the ring and that's a whole lot of nope rope. I'm out of here.
That ain't nothing like that.
No.
I'll fight that dude 10 times that he looked at compared to fighting Mike Tyson.
Yeah, I don't know boxing well enough. I'm more of an MMA guy, but in my opinion, the only person I see standing a chance against him at heavyweight is Tyson Fury.
Could you take a punch from Tyson or Foreman?
Ooh, those are the 2 worst.
Yeah, I know.
You just picked the 2 worst.
I know. That's why I did that. It's by design.
I might. Shit.
In their primes.
I don't know. That's way too hard for me to pick. Like I keep wanting to say Tyson because Tyson is so much smaller, but he uses his whole body better in the punches. Like you can see in this
it's
video.
compact.
You can see in this video like how he gets his whole body into everything. Right?
If you have a jab, he's not gonna be able to do that. That's why Lennox Lewis was so
effective. That's why I think Tyson Fury would be able to handle him.
No, he'll put Tyson Fury to sleep.
Tyson Fury's too big, and he's got a great technique.
It don't matter.
Great technique.
He fought fighters just as big as him.
I agree, but I think Tyson Fury is the most technical sound boxer we've seen in a long time.
Did you see Tyson Fury
jack up Wilder? Yes, I did.
No, I saw that. But did you see how you could tell there was something wrong with Wilder's leg the whole fucking fight? And then did you see when the first time when Wilder put him to sleep?
Yeah, he did. He put him to sleep.
So can you imagine if Tyson connects?
Yeah. But see, oddly enough, as crazy as it is because he's so small, Tyson Wilder has that kind of power too. Tyson Wilder knocked out Ortiz.
Tyson Fury?
No, I'm sorry.
Deontay Wilder?
Deontay Wilder, sorry. Deontay Wilder knocked out Ortiz with a punch to the forehead. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. You don't get knocked out by a punch to the forehead.
Hey, no, man. You ever seen when he hit that Silverstein dude?
No.
Hey, pull that up. Put up Wilder versus Silverstein. Yo, and this dude was talking. So they fought twice. And I think the dude...
Try that Silverstone. That might be it.
Yeah, but they fought twice. Yeah, this is the one where because he dude talked so much shit because he fought him like a couple rounds, and you know how like Wilder he's not no boxer.
No, he's a puncher,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, but it's just a wild puncher. Like if you just stand in there now, watch how when he hits him. Hold on, that ain't it.
Mike Tyson would kill Deontay Wilder.
Oh yeah, he would kill Fury too. Well, all right, now watch when he knocks dude out.
Oh, wow, he's crippled. he was literally using the rope as a pillow.
Like he's doing a butterfly.
Oh, fell right on his face.
Well, you got to see when they show the punch.
He is done. Yeah, let's see this replay. He hits hard. What's crazy is how small he is. How small, it doesn't look like they're going to show the replay, is how small he is compared to other heavyweights. Like his first, I think the first Fury fight, he weighed in at 209.
Yeah, that's
209. That's
nothing.
nothing. You're a couple pounds away from
Tyson was a light
heavy.
heavyweight, and he was like 235.
Right. But the problem with not the problem, because Tyson was obviously a beast, but if Tyson was about 3 inches taller, he would have been he was already maybe the scariest man ever in the boxing ring, but he for sure would have been if he was 3 inches taller, because he was short was his problem for a heavyweight. Let's see. We'll get this highlight.
Yeah, because the fight only goes one round.
No, this is a different one. Yeah.
The fight only goes one round.
See if you can find the Wilder Ortiz 2 knockout, because he punches.
You know
him
who
in
else
the
hits
forehead.
hard? Golovkin, Triple G.
Yeah, he does.
He hit Curtis Stevens. Yo, Curtis Stevens looked like he saw a ghost.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a I can't think of his name right now. It's a crazy name, but there's a fighter who is considered one of the best of all time. He's a lighter guy.
Uh-huh.
And he okay, they waved it off there. So this is the second Ortiz fight. Man, so Ortiz looked like
the first or the second one?
the second one is what we're looking for.
This is the second one.
Okay, this is the second one. So we want to see the knockout.
The snot out of him.
He knocks him out with a punch to the forehead.
Yeah, that nerve runs across the top of your forehead.
But
too.
nobody ever gets knocked out from the forehead punch. They get knocked out from the jaw or just taking too much of a beating. And actually,
Foreman knocked Michael Moore out. He ain't hit him in the jaw. He caught him like on the side of his ear.
Yeah, well, the ear will do it to you too. The ear, the temple.
Well, that nerve runs across your whole face.
Right. Look. Oh, look. What's he doing with his hand? He's like,
he's knocked out.
He had no clue. He's like, look at this
mouthpiece.
He's
looking for his mouthpiece. It's still in there.
Yeah, he was not okay. That was straight to the forehead, though. You just don't see that.
And it was a straight right.
Yep. It happens with him a lot, man. But it's crazy. Deontay Wilder's definitely a specimen, but I think look how skinny his legs are.
But you know who he reminds me of? The way he holds that right and cocks it like it's a weapon. Hearns. Nobody did it like that. Mm-hmm. You see when he knocked out Roberto Duran?
No, I mean I probably did, but
it's
been a long time.
Hearns knockout Duran.
Everybody look up these YouTube videos for yourself, since we don't have video yet. And even when we do, we'll
Or
eventually
use
get
your
pulled from YouTube for
imagination.
playing it.
Use your imagination. Here's the imagination music.
Oh, that's good imagination music.
That's what it sounds like.
It sounds like
You watch like cartoons and shit.
sounds like hallucination music.
There you go.
Yeah, we don't need that full fight, huh?
Yeah, this fight don't go too long either. And Roberto Duran had a chin.
Yeah, Duran was a monster. Oh man, these dudes were just swinging. Oh, that was right on the chin. Right.
Look at this.
He fell straight on his face. First of all, just straight on his face.
Yeah, because he was knocked out before he hit the canvas.
Yeah, he just fell over like a tower.
Look at him. He still don't look. He don't know where he threw a punch at dude.
Oh man,
You don't look like him. He was black. Boom.
that's crazy. Crazy. You watch any comedy specials lately?
Yeah, I was rewatching them.
You were rewatching? You watch any of the new ones?
No, who's new?
Chris D'Elia had one that was
I've
good.
never watched him. Is he funny?
He is. He's different. 100% different. I mean, he is, but he's hilarious, man.
You know who's funny to me? Because I got a sick sense of humor sometimes. That Anthony Jeselnik.
Mm-hmm. He's kind of asshole funny, right?
Yeah.
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 But I would recommend the three newest ones that came out that I can think of are D'Elia, Segura, and Bert Kreischer. And
I've never watched Bert Kreischer. I've watched Segura before, Tom Segura.
you've never seen Bert Kreischer?
No, because every time I see him, it's the one where, like the preview where he ain't got no clothes on, and I ain't watching that.
he all of them. He never wears a shirt.
Oh no, the one he had on nothing.
Oh no, that's weird.
It was like naked.
Yeah, but he never wears a shirt. He that's his thing. But
It's like the
he's
Rick
got
Ross of comedy.
he
huh?
has maybe yeah. That's true. He has maybe the funniest comedy story of all time.
Okay.
Bert. His new special was a big letdown. But he's got a story called The Machine.
Okay.
And it's a true story. So first of all, Bert Kreischer, you have to realize he is who the movie Van Wilder was wrote about.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like he's a party animal.
Okay.
Like when he gets done with his shows,
So
he
they
tells
really fill the donuts with some dog cum.
I don't know if they did that, but he talks about how the fraternities would do like the circle jerks with the bun, and the last guy, yeah, luckily he didn't ever have to do that. But
See,
he talked about how that was a real
again,
thing.
Listen?
I'd be like, what?
Circle jerk?
The second somebody brought that up, I'd be like, I'm never going to be in a fraternity ever.
Black people there at that one. Circle jerk.
Yeah, if they were on the down low.
Listen, man.
But
That's like when Chappelle said about the carrot in your ass shit.
I don't remember that.
Oh man, he was like, he was like, I don't get high with black people no more. And like all the white people started clapping and shit. And he was like, you only win by default. And he was like, because when you get high with black people, they always want to talk about their problems and stuff like that. He said, I'm getting high to get away from my problems, not take on yours. And he was like, but white people, he said, white people, all they do, he was like, the only thing they do when they get high is catalog and talk about the times they got high and drunk. Like, dude, we had 4 bong hits and 5 Jägermeister shots. And
Yeah.
he was like, but the only thing with white people, he's like, when they get fucked up, they do some borderline gay shit. He was like, yeah, man. He's like, Dave fell asleep at our house. He was drunk, and we stuck a carrot in his butt. And he was like, for real? He was like, you couldn't do no shit like that on the streets.
No.
He's like, that's an instant death sentence.
Right.
He's like, what happened, man? He's like, I thought y'all was friends. He's like, yeah, man, we was. He's like, man, I was over his house. We was drinking. He's like, got drunk. I fell asleep. He was like, I'm just going to kill that motherfucker, and that's all you need to know. He's like, fuck carrots.
Fuck carrots.
Yo.
That's true, though, man. I don't know why people like to fuck with people when they're asleep, man. Because I'll tell you right now, some shit happened to me when I'm asleep. We're definitely fighting when I get up.
Oh, when we was young, like, we used to rig people up all the time. Yo, we used to, like, if you felt, whoever was the first one asleep, you got it. Like, we used to put hot sauce on your eyelids. And
I'd kill somebody because that's painful. I can accept some stupid shit like trying to put my hand in water so that I piss myself.
we used to do that.
I can live with that. I can't live with you writing on me in permanent marker. I don't care what's on me. I don't even care.
We wrote in whiteout on.
I don't care. Whiteout would be better because at least you can get that shit off.
No, but not on a black person. I'm dead serious. We wrote on my homeboy's sister. Oh my god. She was passed out drunk. We wrote all types of shit on her. We did whiteout.
But if like for me, like a Sharpie would be the bad one because I'm pale as fuck. So if you wrote on me in Sharpie, I don't even care if it said Dave is awesome across my forehead. I'm fighting you. I can't walk around with Dave is awesome on my forehead.
Like how they did on Larry David when he fell asleep in the sun and that girl, he made that girl mad and she put sunblock and made a smiley face. He woke up, it was burned into his forehead.
Is that from Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, did you ever see, you were talking about LA and you just brought up Curb Your Enthusiasm. Did you see that documentary about the guy who got, I think he was arrested for murder? And they thought for sure
he got
they had
off
him
because of Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Yeah. Did you see that?
I didn't see the documentary, but I knew about the story.
See if you can find what that's called because it's fucking crazy.
What
Literally,
channel is it on?
It's on Netflix.
Channel. I don't know if I got no goddamn channels. I sound like an old man.
We are old men, man.
Yeah, we are. I embrace my old age.
Yeah, well, that's what I told somebody the other day because I think we're 10 years apart.
Okay.
But I'm 37. I always tell everybody I'm 40 though because what the fuck, you know?
Right.
It's whatever. So I told this girl at work the other day at Kroger. She said, I said something because I forgot what I was doing, and she said, "See what happens if you get older." I said, "Man, I'm telling you, 40's rough." She goes, "You're not fucking 40." It's like, "Yeah, I am." She's like, "No, you're not." I'm like, "Okay, I'm 37, but I mean, I might as well be 40." And she goes,
"You're way off, buddy."
She goes, "No, you're not." She goes, "No, you're not 37." And her boyfriend works there. She's like, "Tristan, he's trying to tell me that he's 37," and he goes, "That's because he's fucking 37."
Man, I wish I could figure out the name of that fucking song. That there was a song when we worked at Burgatory. It sounded like he sung it.
Oh, you still haven't figured it out?
No,
you still haven't figured it out. So the documentary is called Long Shot.
Okay.
And so literally there was a guy that looked a lot like the guy that did the crime, right? And he was trying to tell him, like, I was at the baseball game this day, but they couldn't get proof because just having the tickets doesn't give you proof. You could have not went to the game.
Right.
So then they found him briefly on camera, but then they were like, okay, but the time he was on camera, he still could have left and done this. The crazy thing is he was at the game with his daughter.
Oh, damn.
So then they started, this is when cell phones were, technology was good enough, they can kind of track his cell phone into a reasonable area. And they're like, it looks like good for him, but it could still be. And then they found out Curb Your Enthusiasm was fucking recording there at the time. And it just so happened that in the episode, they got him, they let him, just by accident, because he wasn't supposed to be allowed to walk through. But the crew let him walk through with his daughter to get back to his seat, and he's passing Larry David in the episode, and that's what fucking cleared him.
Wow.
How fucking crazy is that? Larry David's in the fucking...
And that's a funny-ass episode, too.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because he's got the hooker that goes with him.
Yep.
He picked her up so that he can go on the carpool lane.
Ride a diamond lane, yep. And that's the one where dude gets caught with the weed in his jacket.
I don't remember that part. I need to watch that more, man. I haven't watched it that much. You keep telling me how great it is.
He goes to get his dad. His dad got glaucoma and he can't see. He's like, let me get you some weed. And he's like, I ain't no hippie. And he goes and he's like, just let me go get you some weed. So he said, all right. And then he forgot he ain't caught weed since like the fucking 70s and shit. So he literally is like riding around LA trying to see. And he sees some dude that looks like he does a drug deal. And then it's the fat dude from Lost.
Okay, yeah,
so
with the crazy curly hair.
Yeah. And he like goes up to him and he like buys some weed off of him and shit like that. And he has it in his pocket. And when they go back to the dad's house, before he goes back to the dad's house, he sees Funkhauser. The reason why he's walking around in the stadium is because Funkhauser has tickets down like on
the better seats.
Yeah, like they're on it. But his dad just died, and so Larry wanted to go ask him to use that seat.
Yeah,
but he was like, "No, I'm leaving it open for a memorial as my dad." And he was like, "You got to be fucking. That's stupid." You know what I mean? And so he like when they're at the game, he like the tickets that his wife gets him are like up in the nosebleed, so he like is looking at binoculars and sees where he is, and he's like down right on the action. So then he's like goes down there and tries to sit with him, and he's like, "Can I just let me sit down for a minute?" And he was like, no, and so he was like, "Are you kidding me?" And that's why he's walking around. So that's probably when he walks past that dude.
I think he's actually walking back from arguing with that dude.
Okay,
when they pass each other.
Okay, so when he goes back, like they go back, and he goes and sits back at that seat, but then he's walking back to his car, and that character that won't let him sit down, his name is Funkhauser. It was a dude who used to play Super Dave Osborne.
Okay, yeah, yep.
And so
I can picture the dude in my head.
He was like, his car won't start. And he was like, why don't you, he's like, "Larry, can you give me a jump?" And he was like, "Or can you give me a ride to the airport? I got to pick somebody up." And he was like, "Why don't you ask your dad to give you a job?" Like, wow. I'm telling you, that's how fucked up Larry David is, yo. So then he ends up giving the dude a ride, and when he's like, he goes into the airport, he was like, "I got to go to the bathroom." So he has the hooker ride around so she don't park.
Yeah,
and
so he goes pay for parking.
Right, and so he goes into the bathroom while Funkhauser is going to look for his friend. And when he goes to the bathroom, he's like, "Could you hold my jacket?" And it's a Seinfeld jacket because he's
Seinfeld
guy. But he
was
trying to get out of jury duty. So he's like, "If I wear my Seinfeld jacket, they don't like celebrities on juries and stuff like that."
Right.
So that weed was in the pocket from when he copped it off of the dude from Lost. And when he went in the bathroom, Funkhauser put it on and was like, like, because it said Seinfeld and all that.
Like,
and the next thing you know, you hear these dogs barking, and he's like, "Hurr!" And he was like, "That weed ain't mine," and all this stuff. They're like taking him away and stuff like that. And Larry's like in the bathroom looking and stuff like that. Like,
I need to watch that. Everybody tells me how good it is, and I don't want everything I've seen of it. I've seen a few episodes. I love. I think they're hilarious because he's just like a stuck in his way, eccentric ass dude.
You ever see the one where he's dating this, he runs into this ex, right? And he's with his wife, and the ex like ends up talking to him, and he's like, "Remember when I told you that like my step dad molested me?" And he's like, "Is it really like molestation when it's a step?" You know what I mean? He was like
it's not your actual parents.
Right. And so she's like, "Well, I went to this therapy group and they said that, step counts and all this stuff." And so she's like, "But you're the only person I've ever told, and, I don't feel comfortable going there, so will you go with me?" And so he agreed to go to this, like, incest survivors group. Yeah, and so she was like, and so he's like, incest, he's like, does the step, dad count as incest?
He asked that in, the group?
No, to her while she was telling him that. So when they go to the group, he's there, right? And they're going around the room, and people are telling their stories, right?
Yeah.
About how, about them being, molested.
Yeah.
And they get to him. Well, before they get to him, they got this lady, and she's like talking about how like her uncles used to take turns on her, like while the one guard the door while the other two were doing it and this stuff that. And
like some horrific shit.
Yeah. And so like then they get to him, and he's like, so it's like, "It's your turn," and he didn't think that he was got to say anything and stuff like that. And so that girl's like, looking at him like, "Don't blow this for me" and stuff. So he starts making up this story about how his uncle, he's like, "Yeah, I had this uncle. He was a pathologist, and he used to take me in the backyard and make me yank on it and stuff like that." And so they're like, they're like, "Oh my God!" And so like then his wife later on, she's in the Vagina Monologues play.
Yeah.
So he goes with her to the audition, and when they get to the audition, the executive producer is that lady who was the uncles were watching the door.
Yeah.
And so they walk in, and she's like, they give fake names in those meetings. So she was like, looked at Larry David. He's like, hey, Todd. And his wife was like, Todd. And she was like, and so now he's got to explain that to her. And he's like, oh, she's like, where does that name Todd come from and all that stuff. And so now his wife is mad and she storms off. She's like, I'm not doing this play and all that stuff. So then right when he's walking out, that lady was like, you better not tell her where you know me from and all that stuff, because those are, anonymous meetings.
Yeah.
He's like, I promise. The very next scene, he was like, and her uncles were molesting her. While the other so then, like, she ends up, she's like, oh, my God, I feel so bad now because I'm, really going to blow this opportunity not going in this play. She's like, I got to call her and try to get back in. And so she was like, so she called her and she was like, he's like, you can't tell her that that's where I met you and stuff. I mean, met her and all that stuff. So she was like, oh, well, Larry told me what happened about the Gamblers Anonymous meeting. So everything was cool because she lied about the meeting.
Right.
So then opening night, he goes there and they're backstage and everybody's back and his wife is getting made up. And then he's back there with his uncle and stuff. And they're like, oh, hey, break a leg and all this stuff. And then that producer was like, I know you, Larry, not Todd and stuff, but who is this? She was like, he's like, oh, this is my uncle. My Uncle Dave and all that stuff. And she was like, the pathologiologist? And he was like, the uncle was like, that's right. And she was like, get the fuck out of here, you nasty mother. And he's like looking around like he... And everybody's looking at Larry, and Larry's just sitting up there because he made the story up.
Right. That's hilarious. I definitely have to watch more of that. We got bad sidetrack from where we were, but so I wanted to tell you, got to watch Burt Just the Machine. You don't even have to watch the whole special, but watch the Machine.
That's on Netflix?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can even YouTube just the Machine part of the story.
Okay.
Because the Netflix is going to be the whole special, but YouTube, if you just look up Burt Kreischer or just Burt the Machine, it'll come up right away, just that story. It's maybe one of the best things, not maybe one of the best things, it is one of the best things, maybe the best comedy thing of all time.
Okay.
He got really lucky with it that he had this awesome story from when he was in college.
Okay.
He goes and he basically ends up being part of he takes Russian and he ends up being, his guides in Russia are part of the Russian mob and they love him.
Oh,
and so he has a crazy story from it.
Is he in any movies?
Not really, no. But then you have D'Elia. His comedy special was great. It was awesome. It was really funny. He's really good with his face animations and his voices.
Who's that dude that said that shit about Kobe? Because I know you listen to a lot of podcasts. His name is Ari Shaffir. But
Ari Shaffir.
Yeah, was he funny?
He's funny in a different way. He's a weird dude. He's a really tall, goofy-looking Jewish guy.
I mean, I said his career's done now. His shit he said about Kobe.
Yeah, his career's always been a little bit of a rough one.
Okay.
Because he's got a different style of comedy. That's what his comedy is. His comedy attacks the sensitive parts of culture.
I mean, but that Anthony Jeselnik kind of does the same thing, but
his is worse. He's way more vulgar. I mean, he says some ignorant shit about 9/11. He said some ignorant shit. You know what I mean?
Is it funny?
It's dark funny is what it is. That's
I mean,
why,
sometimes you got dark funny and then you got just dark that's not funny.
Some of it's funny, some of it's not.
Okay.
I will tell you this. He dosed his friend with ecstasy. He dosed Burt with ecstasy.
I seen that, but I didn't know, why he didn't know.
Yeah, no, Burt didn't know, and Burt was not happy about it at all. It was a problem.
Okay.
Like, that's just the kind of dude he is. Like, they all love him. He's part of that group, Joe Rogan, Burt Kreischer, all the... but he creates a lot of controversy.
Okay.
His comedy isn't something for me, but I know that there's a lot of people that love it.
Okay.
But Tom Segura is hilarious. You should watch all of his specials.
I think I did watch one of his.
He is
kind of funny. I got to watch some more of his shit.
And his new one was good. I just watched it recently, and then I ended up watching 2 of his old ones because it was like, man, he's just, his timing, his delivery, everything is just so on point. He's just hilarious. But those are the 2 I would recommend you watch on Netflix.
I did watch. You watch Dion Cole?
I didn't watch that.
That's
one.
funny.
No.
Yeah,
is it good?
Yeah, it's funny as hell. He talks about having a threesome with a girl, and the other girl's like a WNBA looking player. Like,
yeah,
he's like, man, that bitch was about 6'7". He's like, she had the little basketball backpack with the strings. He's like, she walked in like this. He's like, I don't care what you. She said she just had a triple double somewhere.
You know who I really want to see a comedy special from is I want to see a comedy special from Lil Duval.
Did I ever see?
I don't even know if he's really had one that's big promoted, but he was just recently.
Yeah, he's on. I think he's on a couple of them. I think he's on one of them Shaq. One of them Shaq Presents. Those are funny.
Are they? I'll have to check those out.
Those used to be on Netflix. I don't know if they are anymore.
But I remember him from movies, is what I remember him from. And he was always pretty funny at those. But he was, within the past 5 or 6 months, on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Okay.
And he is fucking hilarious.
You ever hear Corey Holcomb?
No.
He's like a black Anthony Jeselnik. He talks about taking this chick to the his girl to the abortion clinic, and he was like, he's like, she was with it. He's like, I'm glad because I wasn't trying to keep the baby, and that's how like he's like dark like that too. So he's like, I wasn't even trying to go in there. He's like, she let me drop her off. He's like, I wasn't trying to go in there because if I'd have been in there, somebody would be like, yeah, what you doing in here? He's like, man, you know, this simple ass bitch and all this stuff like that. And so he said he went and picked her up, and when he picked her up, he was playing 50 Cent. And she's got all mad, and she's like, I ain't trying to hear all this killing and all this stuff. He was like, bitch, you the only killer in the car right now. He's
Hey, Jacob, try to find this tweet. It's Lil Duval is also apparently funny on Twitter, but Little Duval party tweet. Because, you know, with all this lockdown going on, he found this picture of these people partying during the quarantine. And he says something like, if these people ain't dead in 2 weeks, I'm going outside. There's like a picture. Oh man, I wish it was easy to find. Go to images. Try images.
You know what I miss because of the quarantine? We ain't got no more of them nickname tellers anymore. You know the people that was always calling the police on black people.
Oh
You
yeah,
know, like Walmart Wendy, and you know, like, that shit was funny to me.
Oh, it was hilarious. Because those people were so out of their fucking mind.
You know, one lady called the police on them little kids. They selling water.
Yeah, yeah. The fuck? Let a little kid sell water. Honestly, it's kind of absurd. This people like I consider myself probably more left leaning than I am right leaning.
Okay.
But man, with how crazy people from the left have started to become, I'm like, man, maybe I'm a Republican. Maybe I'm a hardcore fucking Republican. But also because even kids with little league stands or little league with kids with lemonade stands now, people will call the cops on them because they don't have a permit. Like, what the fuck? Let a kid sell some fucking lemonade.
When did you need a permit for a lemonade stand?
Technically, you do. Technically, but it's like
don't buy none.
Right.
That shit's nasty half the time anyway. You just buy it just to support the little kid.
Right. Like half the time, people just give them money. Like, why can't a little kid just be a little entrepreneur like that, and everybody just let them the fuck be?
Right. So you rather him selling drugs out there? Right. You don't need a permit for that.
Right. It's so fucking ridiculous. Well, I mean. It's not that you don't need one; you can't get one.
I mean, you could get one, but you know, you just you can be a vendor. Yeah. That just your merchandise. You just kind of say use it under an alias name.
Man, maybe it was on his Instagram. Might have been Instagram. Try the Instagram. I really wish we could find this because it's hilarious. I saw.
That's like how smart them little Girl Scout cookie selling girls were selling the cookies out in front of the dispensaries.
Oh yeah. Fucking genius.
Yeah.
You know that, but I swear they got that idea from Friends. There was an episode of Friends where Ross,
I don't think I seen that one.
Ross accidentally injured this girl who was selling cookies.
Okay.
He was like showing off his like how he played racquetball or something, and the girl was walking up the steps and he hit her.
Such a nerd on that.
Yeah, but so he ends up trying to sell the cookies for her so she can win this prize. And he thinks he got it because he cheated in some way. But turns out this other girl had her hot sister dress up with her uniform and go to the college dorms where everybody was high and sold all the cookies. Yeah, it looks like we're finding a lot of freaky shit on there.
I know, that one looked like
Christ.
Dave Chappelle. I was like, is that a Dave Chappelle character?
Is this his Instagram?
Yeah.
Right there.
Like
the player haters ball.
Keep going down. I'll notice the picture as soon as I see it. Keep going down. Keep going down. Keep going down. Keep going down.
He got a lot of suspect shit on his page.
He does he does it all day. Like, look at that. What the fuck is going on there?
She looks like a animal for real.
All right. Well, maybe I have no idea where it is.
Where's her butt crack? That don't even sound right if you're not seeing this, people. So.
Yeah, just like a little Duvall's, and you'll know exactly what he says. Where's her butt crack? Yeah, we're too far. Don't worry about it. All right, I can't find it. But yeah, he said if these people aren't dead in 14 days or 2 weeks, then I'm going outside. It was funny as hell.
Since one thing, I don't know, this is just off cuff, but you know, for the people that are going bald, and I'm thinning at the top.
I'm bald as fuck.
I ain't got no shame in my game, but that shit you was talking about before, that toilet seat, the George Jefferson hairstyle, what's the fucking point of that?
Well, how do people keep that? Like, my hair's longer than I like it to be, but I get to wear a hat at work now.
Yeah.
So I've just been lazy on shaving it.
Yeah, but have you ever, like, you know, like, I'm going to grow that out?
No, I don't understand. And people do it, man. Like,
my uncle does that shit sometimes.
It's so weird. Like, why don't you just shave your head?
What are you, like, what illusion are you creating? Like, so if somebody sees you, if you're bending down from the side, then it looks like you got a head full of hair. Like,
right. I don't understand. It's even worse.
Or you put on a hat.
You'll see white people with like what we call a skullet.
Yeah.
So they have like the no hair up top, but it's on the sides and it's long in the back.
No, or the worst is when they're bald and have that ponytail.
Yeah.
Like, and then why does that always, like, when you see him, the first thing you think is he's a liberal. Like, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah. He's some kind of hippie.
He got his tweed sport coat.
Oh shit.
That some stereotypes are funny though, man, when you really think about it, yo.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's you can find humor in anything.
Oh yeah,
and what we were talking about, I can't remember if it was on air or off air, but we were talking about cancel culture, and it's kind of one of the things that sucks about cancel culture. Like, we can laugh about some things, guys. Like there are obviously things that are just bad, and we should make sure that doesn't get out there. But some things are funny.
Oh,
and we can let them be funny.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. And now it's so hard to let that happen.
That's
cancel
why
culture is just
it
so
is. Cancel
crazy.
culture is racist, man. You know what I mean? Because you're only trying to cancel certain artists. If you're going to cancel ones that are doing certain crimes, cancel all of them that
are doing
that
the
crime.
same thing.
Right.
It doesn't matter white, black, Caucasian, Asian.
Right.
It should be everybody.
If we're canceling Michael Jackson and R. Kelly's music, then we need to cancel Elvis's music because Elvis was dating 14-year-olds.
Yeah, and Jerry Lewis buried like his.
I mean, he only got one song, don't he?
Nah,
Great Balls of Fire.
Yeah, Jerry Lewis. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Jerry Lee Lewis.
Yeah, but he did marry his like 14, 15-year-old cousin or niece or something.
How do you break that to the family?
Man, it had to be. And how did it end up?
Did they have an
going
engagement party? Like, seriously?
Yeah. Well, how was the what's the party after the wedding called? The reception?
Yeah.
Was there an awesome reception?
Oh my God! You know, they was all in. I can kind of take a guess on what state that reception was held in.
Well, and how did her dad let any of it go?
He probably was married to the aunt.
Well, I'm saying like the dad of the cousin or niece that married Jerry Lewis.
I bet you he ain't give her away at the wedding.
I bet you did neither. But how did you let it go through at all? Like, how did you not? How was there not a fist fight? There had to be a fist fight we just don't know about, right? Had to be.
Fist fight. Telling you, back in them days, back in the 70s and prior to that shit, you can murder somebody and only go to jail for like 8 years.
Oh man, that is kind of crazy, huh? Man, did you? There's a new book out. I think the guy's name is Tim O'Neill. And just because you brought up that time frame, it's about the Marilyn Manson thing.
Okay.
And
Marilyn Manson?
Not Marilyn Manson. God damn it, Charles Manson.
Charles
Manson.
What the fuck did Marilyn Manson?
My brain is all over the place. So Charles Manson, and this guy actually researched the whole Charles Manson scenario for 20 years. It was originally just supposed to be an article, and then when he started researching, he realized it was going to be a lot more. And so it took him a long time to get the book made, but it also took him that long to research it.
Okay.
And it is highly, highly likely, can't be for a fact because the fact's not there, but highly, highly likely that the CIA was giving Charles Manson all the LSD that he was giving to people. Like, it was an experiment with LSD ran by the CIA.
Oh, I'm not.
They got him out of. Without a doubt, these are facts. Multiple times he broke his parole and was immediately released. And it was because the person who was his parole officer had links with the CIA and would say, no, he's a great guy. This is not a sign of who he is, this and that, and would get him out.
Right.
And there's a lot to it. There was a podcast about it on the Joe Rogan podcast, but I really want to read the book. Is it Tim O'Neill? Is that right? Did you find that?
Shaquille O'Neal.
I think that's it right there, Chaos.
Man, one time, and see, I'm probably going to hell for this shit. But,
Tob O'Neill. Chaos, Charles
flicking
Manson of the CIA, The Secret History of the 60s.
Don't flick through the channels high, people. Public service announcement. I was flicking through the channels one day, high.
Okay.
And this is when he was alive. And they were playing one of his parole hearings.
Charles Manson?
Yeah.
Okay.
I never laughed so hard in my life.
This is when he was for sure never getting out, right?
Who the fuck thought he was ever getting out? They just did that shit. First of all, why are you airing that shit on? It might have been on Comedy Central. I'm not sure. But
the dude literally has a swastika tattoo in the middle of his fucking forehead.
I'm telling you, look up his parole hearings and then the questions that they ask him and then his answers.
Crazy.
Yeah, they be like, what are you going to do? How are you going to be productive to society? First off, when I'm going to get out and I'm going to murder all the pigs and then I'm going to put their blood all over my back and ride off on a Harley and a leather jacket. And
it was really like that?
Yeah.
Oh,
and he's doing karate moves and saying he's Jesus, and I'm like,
you're like, what the fuck?
Right. Why are you wasting your time doing this?
Yeah. Do you ever get into any documentaries?
Yeah.
Did you watch any of that McMillions one?
Yeah, I got 25 more minutes left to finish that. But that shit's. I'm mad because me and my mom used to collect the Monopoly pieces,
and there was no way you could win.
Right.
There was no way.
Right.
It was that big of a thing. They had it locked up so all the people they knew won the good prizes.
Right.
That's fucking crazy.
And how fucked up is this? And the only black woman that he gave a ticket to, he was extorting the boost out of.
Dude, what's
she
crazy?
She ain't win shit.
She didn't win shit. Every other person that won that they helped win made something. Like they got some money.
Why ain't they being up front? Why are they making it that little blonde chick who ratted everybody out? She was fucking him. They didn't mention that one time.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But
right.
I want to go back to that black lady because what happened to her was terrible. Because that dude, because it was partially mafia, partially this guy,
right,
that controlled the whole game.
Right.
And the black lady, the guy from the mafia told her like, hey, everybody that wins, they give us some money up front. And she's like, well, I don't know how I'm going to raise that money. And they said, well, take a second mortgage out on your house.
Right.
So she took a second mortgage out on her house, which made her payment higher.
Right.
And then
he wanted $25,000 out of each payment too.
And then when she got her payments, he was taking most of it every fucking time.
Right. Before the
she
taxes
lost
too.
money. Before the taxes. She lost money. They fucked her so bad. So bad. The only black person in the whole goddamn documentary got fucked so bad. The rest of them, they made some money. She went into debt for winning that thing.
And then got indicted.
Fuck, dude. That is the craziest thing. I can't believe how that... Do you remember Jacob, do you remember the Monopoly pieces for McDonald's?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Literally, I don't know if you watched that at all. You couldn't win. They had it planned who was going to win.
Like fries and bullshit like that. Happy Meals.
And I need to clarify, McDonald's didn't have it rigged. The people that were in charge of the security for the Monopoly pieces had it rigged. This one guy, what did they call him? Uncle what?
Uncle Jerry.
Uncle Jerry.
Look, Jerry Sandusky.
You can't trust a Jerry, man.
Sounds
you
like
can't
a
trust
pervert.
a Jerry.
Uncle Jerry.
That does sound like a pervert.
I
guarantee that's what Jerry Sandusky.
Uncle on stuff. Everybody, just like Chris Rock said, everybody got a fucked up uncle.
Yeah.
Are you the creepy uncle?
Fuck, I'm an uncle. Am I a creepy uncle?
You better hope not. I'm an uncle too. I don't think I'm a creepy uncle. But everybody's got the creepy uncle.
Everybody's got the creepy uncle.
Me and Beanie at work were talking about that.
Oh, yeah? Oh, man, I miss Bean. She's the shit.
Oh, yeah.
She's not managing anymore, though,
she still is. everybody got a creepy uncle.
Yeah.
And everybody sitting here is listening, is thinking about that. Yeah, that's him too. Yep. The kids can't go over his house.
It wasn't my uncle, but I know there was a guy in the history of my family. I can't remember his name now, but I think he might have been my dad's uncle. But he was like a hardcore alcoholic, but always dressed real nice, shit like that. Mm-hmm. But he would like fall asleep on family members' couches with like his dick hanging out of his pants.
Damn, that's beyond the creepy uncle shit. And nobody woke him up?
No,
I threw a pillow over his dick?
Right, but throw a blanket on that man.
But, okay, so he did this more than once?
Oh, yeah. Dude,
so who invited him?
Oh, fuck if I know. And the crazy thing is, I never met him. Like, these are really old pictures. He was dead before I was born.
Okay.
But I have pictures of him, just of who he is, and he looks like this, like, well put together, like everybody would love guy. And then my dad would tell the stories of him, and he's this hardcore alcoholic that falls asleep on the family couch with his dick hanging out of his pants. Good point, though. Why didn't anybody throw a blanket on that man?
And then, okay, so the family couch, so you're getting a vision of like Christmas or Thanksgiving with the kids running around with this motherfucker with his dick hanging out.
And he's like, hey guys, I brought a bottle of whiskey with me for everybody. And you're like, everybody's like, that's
He's
for
the
you,
relative
you
that
son
you
of a
invite,
bitch.
that you invite one time.
Yeah, and then don't call back.
No.
Yeah.
You're not gonna have multiple stories of him sleeping on his on your couch with his dick out.
Yeah, unfortunately, my dad had a few stories.
You fall asleep in my house with your dick out, you're getting beat up and thrown out. Like
he also had,
and you ain't coming back.
He also had stories about this guy. His name is escaping me right now. So we're watching. That show Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
Rusty Coons, that's his name. So Sons of Anarchy, one of the people that helped him write that show, was a guy named Rusty Coons, who's
he sounds racist,
but he's a Hell's Angel. He's a Hell's Angel, and he
there you go
was one of he was one of the he was the president of one chapter, started another chapter, so pretty heavily involved, and went to prison for a long time for I think cocaine sales.
Okay.
I think he took a plea, so it didn't end up being that, but that's what it was.
Well, I mean, they're connected, though. Them biker gangs are, like, super connected.
Man.
Yeah.
But so when he got out of prison, that's him right there. So this guy's basically like my cousin.
Okay.
Through marriage.
Okay.
But so...
That ain't the one who had his dick out.
No. He's still alive. But when me and my brother, we watched Sons of Anarchy, like, a lot. And then one day my dad was, like, walking by the TV, and he goes... Holy shit, that's Rusty Coons. And we were like, who? He said that guy on the TV right there. Because when he got out of prison, he ended up being on the show.
Okay. And he's helped him write it, you said?
He helped him write it and then acted in it because it's about biker gangs.
Yeah, no, I used to watch that.
Yeah, so he used him as a reference. He was Quinn. That's the guy.
Okay.
You remember Quinn?
Yeah.
That's Quinn, Rusty Coons.
Okay.
And he's an actual Hell's Angel. And he was a president of one chapter. He started the Orange County chapter. But so my dad was like, yeah, that's Rusty Coons. And we're like, Dad, you don't know that guy. He's like, yes, I do. He's like, your Grandpa Howard? Because I grew up with Grandpa Howard.
Okay.
I was like, yeah. He goes, that's his son. And I was like, holy shit, his name was Howard Coons. He goes, that's his son. He's like, I used to hang out with him a decent bit back in the day. He was a Hell's Angel. He said, one time I wanted my house painted, and I was talking to Rusty about it, and Rusty was like, oh, my dad was saying it's too expensive, and it's going to take too long. I can't be out of the house that long. He goes, oh, dude. He's like, I'll get your house painted. It'll take, maybe 6 to 8 hours. He's like, what? He's like, yeah, just tell me what day. So he told him what day. He said, and that day, at that time, just a whole bunch of Mexican dudes showed up. And he left for a little while and came back, and his house was all painted.
There you go.
And he said one time they were playing cards. And it was like, my dad was like, I shouldn't have been there. He's like, we're playing cards. There's like a Uzi on the table. And somebody got mad and just hit the table, and it went off. Luckily, it didn't hit anybody, but he said we were all just sitting there with our hands up, like checking ourselves. But my sister actually messaged him on either Facebook or something like that, Rusty Coons, and was just like, hey, we're a big fan of the show. My dad's Jim Hammer. were like related to you through marriage, blah, blah, blah. And he actually answered her and was like, oh yeah, I said something about my dad. I can't remember what. I shouldn't embellish because I don't remember what it was. But he answered her. He answered my sister. Yeah,
That's cool.
it's kind of crazy, kind of a crazy story. But he's a huge dude. You notice when he came on the show, he was bigger than every other cast member.
I didn't realize that he was a real Hell's Angel.
Yeah, real Hell's Angel. When he got out of prison, Jesse James had one of those West Coast choppers waiting for him.
So that's like loosely based on them, huh? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, without a doubt. The dude with the in the show that has the thing that he has to put to his throat to talk.
Yeah.
You know him, the old man in prison.
Ooh.
He's actually one of the highest Hell's Angels ever.
Okay.
And Happy, who's maybe my favorite character in Sons of Anarchy, because when they're in England and he's like, Happy, kill that guy, and he's like, oh yes, I will. Happy is actually a real Hell's Angel too.
Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy how some of those dudes, and Happy's now had a decent career in acting. He was also in that new show they made, the spinoff with the Mexican biker gang.
I didn't see that.
It's actually not bad. It's nowhere near as good.
Okay.
But supposedly they're coming out soon with a sequel with Jax's kids.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
It's cool that when they do, like, because you got to be authentic and go get the actual gang members. If you're doing stuff on gangs and stuff like that, you need them as consultants and stuff like that.
Right.
But I remember when I was young, my mom tried to tell me what was it? Beat It or Bad or something. I think it was Bad.
One of the Michael Jackson songs.
Like, he got real gang members. Get
the fuck out of here.
You know what I mean? Them gang
Michael
members,
Jackson got street cred.
and then them gang, not even that, them gang members went in a class for 6 to 8 weeks and learned them dance moves.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Tupac. As much as I love Tupac, he was a dancer.
But he wasn't doing them type of dances.
No, he definitely was not. Did you, speaking of Michael Jackson, obviously that dude had a terrible life regardless growing up. Did you hear that there's a pretty solid theory that the doctor that got in trouble for giving him all those pills, that the reason he kept his voice like that the whole time is because his dad chemically castrated him at a very young age? How fucking crazy is that?
I ain't. Who knows that?
That's fucking wild. I mean,
you ain't never heard no girl saying, "Yeah, Michael Jackson fucked the shit out of me." Like, you know.
Sure didn't. You wonder, who'd he marry? He married Presley's daughter,
right?
And you never heard nothing from her.
And then his kids,
yeah,
look white as you.
Yeah, and even though he did something to his skin to make him so goddamn white, I'm not sure what happened there.
Do you think them is his kids?
No, I don't. I don't think those are his kids at all.
They just got his last name. They're just lucky.
Yeah, lucky as hell. Oh man, what have you been watching during this quarantine?
Man, shit, Netflix and.
But you have any like specific shows that you're really into?
I mean, Last Dance is really the thing that I've been, like, all right, I gotta, looking forward to watching.
Yeah,
because they're not putting out, good content other than, the podcasts are keeping things alive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I listen to a lot of podcasts.
All the Smoke.
Yeah,
I watched that. You ever watch that?
No, which one is that?
Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson.
Oh no shit!
Yeah.
I like Steven Jackson a lot. Dude. That dude
real
says
good.
what's on his mind.
It's real.
Sometimes
good. It's on Showtime.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's a little crazy what Steven Jackson says, but also I love it though because he's saying what's on his mind. You got no misconceptions about how that dude feels about you or any subject.
Matt Barnes is the same way.
See, I don't know much about Matt Barnes other than he tried to psych out Kobe and Kobe didn't even flinch.
They did. Kobe comes on there.
Does he?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, it's like it's about a month before Kobe passes.
No shit.
And they're actually like when they have a studio, they all their guests were at their studio, but Kobe being Kobe, and he was so busy doing that coaching and doing that stuff.
Right. Plus all the business stuff he was doing, man.
So they had to go to Mamba Academy to interview him, and Kobe got to set up his little room, his little Emmys on the table, and his Oscars on the table and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
they ask all the questions you want to hear. You know what I mean? And so
I'll definitely check that out because I really like Steven Jackson a lot. I didn't think I would. Honestly, as crazy as it is, I barely remember him from basketball.
Oh, I do. He was a tough player.
He was a tough player.
Was Matt Barnes.
Yeah. Well, I think Steven Jackson was a level above Matt Barnes, but
they were about the same.
Really, you think so? I thought for some reason I thought at one point Steven Jackson was scoring like 18 a game or something like that.
For a minute, he should have been an all-star that year, and then when they had that fight,
Yeah.
and then that marked him for the rest of his career.
Did you see the documentary on Showtime about Artest where they go to that part about the fight?
No, I don't have Showtime.
Oh, dude. So they have that documentary. It's about Rod Artest, but they talk about the fight time. And, Jermaine O'Neal was also on that team.
Right.
So after that whole crazy fight happens, and Steven Jackson, he was about it for his boy. And
Right.
he went up in the stands with him and was swinging too. And Jermaine O'Neal he got in trouble for the first part. Jermaine O'Neal,
When dude came at him on that court, right?
Yeah, Jermaine O'Neal backed him up on the court, but
Right.
didn't go into the stands. But
Right.
they all got in trouble. But they said, Steven Jackson said, when we got back to the locker room, Rod Artest goes, "Hey, you think we're going to get in trouble for this?" And Steven Jackson goes, "Motherfucker, we'll be lucky if we can ever play basketball again." Are we going to get in trouble for this? You guys were fist fighting fans.
Shit, I mean, back in the days before that, though, you can get away with so much shit. Remember when Rodman kicked the photographer?
Oh, yeah. Well, the thing was, you could get away, especially on the court. I mean, you'd get in fist fight, you wouldn't even get kicked out of the game. It was crazy on the court. The game today is so much different.
You ever see when Jack Sigma elbows Kareem?
No, I didn't see that.
Put Kareem Sigma fight.
But they used to fight all the time, and I think even the cameraman had to be like, "Well, we're gonna have to deal with some
Just
shit."
put Kareem fight.
Yeah, probably Kareem fight. Of course, it's gonna be Bruce Lee. Kareem NBA fight. There you go.
Yeah, that's it right there.
This one?
Yeah. Watch this, yo. Who is that, Ice-T? You gotta see how dude hits him first. Cause he doesn't hits him with this elbow.
Oh man, he jacked him right in the jaw. Go back just a little bit more. All right, we got this weird guy. Oh, they don't even showing the elbow. Okay, but he got elbowed like crazy. You could tell by his reaction. And then Kareem's like just sitting there like, "Oh, I'm hurt," and then he jawed him. He hit him directly in the jaw. That was a good punch, man. He hit him directly in the jaw. That was a good punch.
Yeah.
That was a good punch.
Bruce Lee trained him, shit.
Yeah, but yeah, they used to be able to get away with so much more. I mean, the Bad Boys would have never been a playoff team today because they would have all been fouled out. All of them.
Same with the Knicks.
Yep.
Oh, all of that Air Jordan shit, that shit stopped when they played the Pistons.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah.
He wasn't driving to the hole.
No, that will literally
knocked him down.
They show you in the documentary that he was like, okay, in order to beat the Pistons, I'm going to have to put on more weight. And he starts lifting like crazy, and he puts on 20 more pounds of muscle. And honestly, probably when he really became the Jordan that we come to know, because he put on that extra muscle, and he could just do so many different things at that point. I mean,
see, I like Mike until I loved Mike when he first came in the league. Until everybody jumped on his bandwagon, and then I, started, going other direction.
To be the only crazy thing when it comes to NBA best player of all time talk, I don't think Allen Iverson is talked about enough because of what he was able to do with those teams that he had. And I just, in my fantasy world, I like to think about what would have happened if the Sixers ever would have given him a team. Like, what would have happened? They may have been unbeatable because Allen Iverson was the toughest player on the court, and he was small size for his position. He's playing shooting guard where people average like 6'5", 6'6". He was like 6'1", maybe 6'2".
5'10".
Yeah, and he was the most dangerous offensive player on the court.
And drove to the hole.
Took
right.
all the beatings.
Right.
Took all the beatings.
Right.
And didn't
That's
miss
why
games.
he didn't play that long.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, man.
Right.
It really is. And then he finally got to a team where they had some other players, the Nuggets with Carmelo Anthony and Chauncey Billups, but he wasn't the same player at that point, and I've never been a believer in the dude from Syracuse, Carmelo Anthony.
Melo?
Yeah, I've never been a believer in Melo.
Melo's a scorer.
But I don't think he's the scorer to the point where he should have been the setter of the Knicks.
He should have They should have drafted him in Detroit.
Yeah. Yeah, he needed more people around him. He wasn't the superstar that could help carry a team like a Kobe or a Jordan.
Well, those are once in a lifetime players.
Right, but I feel like sometimes Carmelo is adored as that kind of player, and I'm like, you're out of your mind.
Well, I mean,
He's
because
just
you got to look at Carmelo's career. You know, what I mean, he won the national championship as a freshman, and then went to the NBA.
Yeah. But you had players that I think were way better players that came straight from high school, like Kobe Bryant and Kevin Garnett.
Well, Melo didn't come from high school.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that, but I'm just saying you can't say like because you're saying freshman straight to the NBA. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, you know, he actually chose to go to college when he could have went out of high school.
Well, it might have even been that point in time. Remember that point in time where they weren't?
No, it wasn't at that. Not yet.
It wasn't there yet.
LeBron was the last one. That class was the last class.
Isn't that Carmelo's class actually? Which makes sense. That was the last class, so that you're right. He could have.
Yeah, but he was already in college.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
and that's why he was the third pick.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I'm always surprised by LeBron hate too. Like, I don't think he's the best player of all time, but how do you hate the guy? He does so much good shit.
I mean, but you got to put him in a conversation of best players because look at.
I put him in top 5 to 7.
He went to the finals, 9 straight times or 11?
I like LeBron. I'm actually a Lakers fan again because LeBron is on the team.
Well, my son's a LeBron fan, so
yeah,
I done bought jerseys for him for the Cavs, the Heat, the Cavs again.
Yeah,
and when I was in LA, I was like, "You want a Lakers jersey?" He's like, "No, I don't want one." And then when I left, you should have got me a Lakers jersey. I'm like, Brendon. But he'll follow LeBron wherever LeBron goes.
Yeah, I'm a Lakers fan again because LeBron is there. I also do like Anthony Davis, even though he won't get rid of that unibrow. It's so
looking
weird.
Like Bert from Sesame Street.
It's so crazy. Why won't you get rid of that? He's like, no, this is my thing.
He don't care. That's like Strahan won't get braces.
Yeah, right. But but I do like LeBron as a player, and I do think he's one of the best of all time. I can't even put him close to Kobe and Jordan. What's crazy is for a long time I forgot about Kobe being in that conversation.
Yeah, the people always forget about him when they talk about GOAT. And he needs to be in that conversation.
He's got to be. Once you really start doing the research into like what he did on the court, he has to be in that conversation.
I mean,
he was the only one that looked like Jordan on the court. Even.
Dropped 81, yo.
Yeah.
Dropped 60. There was a point in time where Kobe was averaging like 50 points or something for like a month.
Yeah.
Who the hell does that shit?
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. He has to be considered one of the best of all time, without a doubt. Yeah, here's some of his.
Who has 2 numbers
go
retired?
Up real quick. Yeah, and here's some of his accolades.
While he was alive.
Yeah. 18-time All-Star, 5-time NBA champ, 12-time All-Defensive, 4-time MVP, 2-time scoring
MVP.
champ. Yeah, finals MVP.
He only got the MVP once, which was some bullshit.
Yeah, 15-time All-NBA. He was All-Rookie, 2-time Finals MVP. Yeah. I mean, the guy was just a monster.
And a lot of them years where he wasn't is because he wasn't starting.
Well, and a lot of those years, too, was because he injured his Achilles.
That was the last year and 2 years where he got those injuries because they got a thing on Showtime that's pretty good. You watched that, the Kobe Bryant Muse?
No, I didn't, but I do want to see that.
It's about that injury.
Yeah.
And he's in it. He narrates the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, and it's insane he got that injury and still made the free throws afterwards. The dude was a different breed.
Did you watch his last game?
Yeah, where he tore the fuck up.
Scores 60 points.
After almost being not relevant for the whole season. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he wasn't the same player.
Hurt.
He wasn't the same player, man.
Achilles is hard to come back from a basketball
Especially
player.
basketball, man.
Explosive as Kobe was.
Yeah, and you got to change your direction so quickly, and that was a tough one to come back from. And then in his last game, though, he brought the Mamba out. Yeah, he was unreal.
Yeah, that him and Mike are the only ones that had that killer instinct where you're just like, the ball's coming to them. Mm-hmm. It don't matter.
I've changed that conversation from LeBron and Jordan.
LeBron don't have that killer instinct.
That's my thing. I've changed that conversation to Kobe and Jordan. And I might put Oscar Robinson ahead of him. Even
But
though
see,
Oscar
it's tough
Robinson
for me to
didn't play
judge
during my
those
time.
players that I didn't see.
Right. I'm just looking at the stats and watching some of the highlights. Oscar Robinson was something special too.
Right.
You know what I mean? I didn't see him either. And I can't. I always feel like I can't give it to Wilt because Wilt played in a different time. Like he was a man among boys. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like he was just.
I mean, but people always leave Kareem out of the conversation.
They do, and I actually that's why Kareem I put high up there as well. It's one of the reasons I say LeBron now goes in my top 5, maybe 7.
Well, you can't even. Did you see when they had the thing where they said Michael Jordan was the greatest college player ever?
I don't know if that's true.
No, that's far from true.
Yeah.
You got to put Kareem number 1 as that because he won 3 national championships.
Yeah.
They only lost 2 games the entire time he was in college.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Michael Jordan, when he hit that shot as a sophomore, he wasn't on the radar.
Right.
And then he had a good junior year, and then he went to the NBA.
Right.
But Michael Jordan didn't start showing off for real until he was in the Olympics that year.
Yeah.
If you look at the 84 Olympic team.
Yeah. I can't wait till we get to the part where they talk about that crazy Olympic team.
Oh, the Dream Team? Yeah.
I can't wait till we get there.
Who
there on the
Isaiah
last
should
dance.
have been on.
Isaiah
Thomas.
Yeah,
And-
probably.
And no, probably.
I mean,
He's
Christian
better.
Leitner was on that team, so get the fuck out of here.
Shaq should have been there instead of him.
Yeah, if you're gonna take a college player,
Yeah, at the
shouldn't have been
time.
Christian Leitner.
People even forget that he's on that team.
Christian Leitner, yeah. I used to forget it all the time. Yeah. What was I saying before that? What were we talking about? I don't even fucking remember now. But yeah, I can't wait to see the part about the Dream Team. What were we talking about before that? It's driving me nuts.
The funniest is when Michael Jordan was sitting up there talking about when they were doing drugs.
Oh, we were talking about Isaiah Thomas should have been on that team. That's
Yeah.
what you were saying. And then you said something about another. Who was the other point guard on that team?
Stockton.
That's rough, man. Stockton was a great.
Look at the stats.
Yeah, well, Isaiah Thomas was probably had better stats, but if you
He
think
was
about
a better player.
but if you think about who the rest of that team had, a guy like Stockton dishing the ball is maybe better than the guy who's got to be
when
the
you're
star.
getting the best players at the time,
True.
You know what I mean?
True. It is crazy that Christian Leitner was so heralded in college and then didn't do shit. No, this is the Dream Team here. Oh, Magic Johnson. Come on, get the fuck out of here. Magic Johnson was a starting point guard.
Yeah, I know he
So
was
Charles
the starter.
Barkley, Michael Jordan.
Isaiah should have been the 2.
Yeah, he should have been the number 2 point guard for sure, especially now that I know Magic Johnson was a starter, which I knew that. I just forgot.
Well, Magic and Bird were old in that.
God, look at that fucking team, though. Charles Barkley, Michael Jordan, Karl Malone, Chris Mullin, Clyde Drexler, Patrick Ewing, Scottie Pippen, David Robinson, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Christian Leitner, John Stockton. Christian Leitner, fuck off. Fuck off. You did not belong.
That should have been Shaq's spot.
He should have been the water boy. What were you doing on that team?
Imagine college Shaq on that team.
Oh, dude, he would have killed it. I mean, but it would have been hard because you had Patrick Ewing, and David Robinson.
It's crazy because that's the greatest Olympic team, right? The best Olympic highlight ever is Vince Carter dunking.
Oh yeah, he nutted that dude.
How you jump over somebody that's like 7'1"?
Yeah, jumped over him like his face was in his crotch.
Yeah.
Did you? Who would you say is your best center of all time? This is what we're gonna end with. Who's your best center of all time? Give me your top 3. And we're not gonna end with center. We're just gonna
Shaq?
go through. I think Shaq is my number 1. Who would your number 2 be?
Hakeem.
Same. Yeah. 3. I feel like it's not even close after those. Well, gotta be Kareem.
The Kareem or see, I like Pat Ewing.
I do like Pat Ewing. He just had a bad deal. Actually, that's one thing I did want to touch back real quick on Kareem. You were saying how Kareem gets forgotten in that best of all time category. Mm-hmm. It is crazy to me because like people say, if you're going to consider Kareem, you have to consider Wilt. To me, Wilt was, like I said, a man among boys. He was just out there dominating people physically. Kareem actually changed the game for centers. He made it so you could be a shooter. You could hit a turnaround. You could hit that hook.
You know why? Because
that
they
hook.
banned Duncan because of him.
Well, because of who?
Kareem.
Kareem? I didn't know that.
Yeah. There was a couple years because you couldn't stop him, and so they banned Duncan.
That's crazy. But he had.
And so that's why the ABA
Yeah.
You ever watch? You got ESPN Plus?
I have access to it.
You got to watch Basketball: A Love Story. There's like 40 different little episodes on there. There's,
I'll watch that for sure.
And they have one on watch the stuff on the ABA.
Okay.
Because they talk about how like the ABA was like, that's where Dr. J had his best years and all of that stuff. That's where flashy basketball started, and they had the little red, white, and blue ball and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But they had, they let them dunk in that league.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's where the first dunk contest came from. And
Dawkins, Irving.
And David Thompson and all of that stuff. And so, like, when they had those, they banned dunking because of Kareem.
Yeah.
Because, they wanted to figure out a way to stop him. That was still back when they had racism going on and all that shit like that.
Yeah.
And that's how he developed that sky hook that is the only unstoppable shot in NBA history.
Unbelievable, yeah.
You
Completely
unstoppable. Who you ever seen anybody block that?
That and Jordan's fadeaway were the two hardest, which also makes it Kobe's fadeaway, were the two hardest shots to block. But the fadeaway did get blocked. The skyhook never got blocked.
I just think Mike's elevation on his jump shot.
And the hang time.
Right. Now, Kobe's fadeaway ended up being like,
yeah.
You didn't see, because Kobe would hit it deep.
Right.
Mike was more the, he'd hit a three. He'd hit threes and, as he got later. But as far as like.
But it was really his mid-range fadeaway jumper, turnaround jumper that did it. Yeah.
Right. Like that's where he was the master at the mid-range.
Yeah. So actually, as we go through this, Jacob, like now I'm going to go to power forward. Even just Google search best power forwards of all time so we can see how we line up. So let's go top 3 power forwards now. We pretty much agreed on center.
Tim Duncan.
Oh, yeah. I was actually going to forget about that. That's ridiculous. So Tim Duncan's your number 1?
Yeah. I had to go Barkley.
Yeah, I like that Barkley pick.
And I like Rasheed, man, but I ain't gonna put him that high.
Yeah.
But we'll go with
oh man, Dirk, Garnett, Karl Malone.
I'll put McHale in there.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, I'm down with that. I'm honestly, mine's gonna be a little different. It's gonna have some similarities. I am gonna change the one. Go back to that list that you had at the top. There was some. Yeah, that's the one. I'm actually gonna go in the first pick. You're gonna be like, "Are you out of your fucking mind?" But I'm going Rodman.
I'm not gonna say that.
I think for what he was to each team that he was with was perfect. You know what I mean? He knew his job and he practiced it. Even in the documentary, The Last Dance, we see how when he wanted to be so good at rebounding that after practices he would have people just shoot so he can like watch the spin. And then he figured out through watching tape, this person shoots like this person shoots like this. They have this rotation on the ball. So that means that if it hits the rim this way, it's going to go this way.
And he would D your ass up.
It didn't matter what position you played.
1 through 5, yeah.
1 through 5. He'd play every one of you and lock you the fuck down. And I think he was just a much smarter basketball player than he gets credit for because of his wild antics.
Only person that got him real good one time was Bird.
Well, I mean, Bird was Bird. Bird was Bird. I hate when people leave Bird out of conversations for one of the best of all time. I don't think he's anywhere near the GOAT. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, if you want to talk about best small forward of all time, you can put him up there with LeBron.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
Larry Bird was
Without
a monster, man. He was a
doubt.
monster. So I go Rodman, then I go Duncan, and then I'm going to go Karl Malone because Karl Malone has all those scoring titles and stats and shit like that. One of the top scorers of all time in NBA history. It's hard to leave him off there.
Right.
But he didn't look like, because he was so like stocky
and that
and
pick and
sturdy
roll
built.
was so deadly, though.
Deadly. All right, so let's go best small forwards.
Okay. LeBron. Mm-hmm. Bird.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go off the cuff here. Pull up the small forwards.
Yeah.
I don't want to say one, then I'm be like, dang, I forgot about him.
Yeah. Click that small forwards one right there. Best small forward. Scroll down. So I'm gonna go. First two are the same as yours, LeBron and Bird.
Oh yeah, and I'm right there, putting KD.
KD. Scroll down a little bit. I think that might be my pick too. I'm gonna say that's enough. I'm gonna say toss up between KD and Leonard.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Honorable mention to Paul Pierce.
yeah, crazily enough, shit his pants during a playoff game. It's hilarious. Had to fake an injury. I can't believe he openly admits to that. Nobody ever would have known if he wouldn't have told the world.
Wow.
All right, best shooting guards of all time.
Kobe.
I'm going Jordan. And then I'm going Kobe. And then, yeah, Iverson. I'm done.
Yeah,
I can't see you pulling somebody
Honorable
else up.
mention T-Mac.
Honorable mention T-Mac, not Ray Allen. I love Ray Allen.
Ray Allen goes up there, so does D-Wade.
Yeah, go down a little bit further. Pistol Pete Maravich, that's hilarious. Yeah, I really don't think there's anyone close to
Reggie was that dude, though.
Reggie Miller? Yeah, he was a beast. But I don't think anybody else comes close to those top three.
All right. Not at all.
All right, best point guards.
Magic. Isaiah.
I'm not ready to say Isaiah.
I am.
I'm saying Magic. You say Isaiah for your number two.
Look, see, over Stockton. You see that, don't you?
I did see that.
Yeah.
I did see that. I can't lie.
Oh yeah. See,
Which one?
Chris Paul.
Yeah, I like Chris Paul. I think Chris Paul should be up above Westbrook. I don't like Westbrook as a point guard. I think he's a two.
But hey, he's an animal. Oh no. Let me take Chris Paul back, and I'm gonna put a tie between Gary Payton and Kidd.
I like that. I like that a lot. I'm gonna go Johnson. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna put Pistol Pete Maravich up there because I think he changed the game of basketball, and it's a shame that he changed the game of basketball because it should have been a black dude that did it.
No, but Pistol Pete had game though.
He had game, but he was the one that they were willing to let. This is opinion. I can't say this for fact, but Pistol Pete was the one that they let and accepted playing like that because he was white.
That's always the case when you look at any sports. Like they're all if they have available white candidate, they're gonna publicize him. You know what I mean? Like let there be like a Lamar Jackson, a white one.
Yeah, because basically Pistol Pete Maravich brought the urban game, the street ball, into the main forum. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna say Magic, Pistol Pete, and then I think I'm gonna give you Isaiah. Yeah, I like it.
Honorable mention for a player that would have been, but the injury took him away. Grant Hill.
Wait, he was. I think he played more of a small forward though.
No, I'm talking about just a player that like injury changed. He would have been a LeBron style player.
And I'll say for point guard, Penny Hardaway.
Yeah,
injury ruined him too. Penny Hardaway was a fucking monster.
He was.
Yeah,
he definitely was.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, you got anything else, brother?
No, you know what I mean? It's probably 12 o'clock. You know how long we be talking shit.
Well, I appreciate you coming, making the trip during this quarantine, man.
No doubt. We're 6 feet apart. So.
Yeah. I'm sorry you can't get liquor in your state. That's unfortunate.
No, that's fucked up.
It is
I'm not a big
up.
liquor drinker, but still, that's fucked up in general.
It's some bullshit. Yeah. But hey, always glad to have you on, man.
Most definitely.
Always fucking
Thanks
fun.
for having me. Appreciate always coming down here. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Shout out to Gathering the Fools, you know?
Appreciate it. And can't wait to have you back. You have anything you want to shout out? You got anything going on?
I'm in the studio tomorrow.
In the studio tomorrow? Come on, man. We need that music, man.
No doubt. Shout out to the Juggernaut, my man. And I told you I'm going to bring my man Trav down here next time. So, you know what I mean? Trav's a photographer and stuff like that. So,
yeah, for
Trav's
sure.
real plugged in with everything in the city, too. So,
that'd be awesome. That'd be great.
Ask him some questions and shit.
For sure. Yeah, bring him down.
No doubt.
All right, man. Well, this is the Gathering of Fools. We're out of here.
Peace.